I'm gonna be queasy for a little bit, y'all. Just FYI, I made a mistake. I fucked up. I wanted to start this episode with a joke about you remember there's a great quote from the famous, the world renowned RL Jovial Bob Stein. Worldstar Stein. Where he says he calls something dog shit, I believe, if I remember correctly. And that's one of the problems here. My memory is kind of dog shit.
What a potty mouth is that, Mr. Stein?
Exactly.
He is a potty mouth.
I'd never heard Mr. Stein curse. Like, I always thought that he was too jovial to say a bad word, to get sent to HE double hockey stick.
Apparently his joviality has limits.
Apparently so. So he called something dog shit at one point, and I remember that vividly.
A man walks into his house and his hand is covered in a huge pile of dog shit. And he says, "Honey, look what I almost stepped in."
And because I'm very smart.
And so, naturally.
I'm very, very smart, naturally. And so I decided to go on YouTube and try to search for R.L. Stein dog shit. And I fell into a hole I really wish I never knew about, where it is YouTubers filming dogs shitting, like the poop coming out of their buttholes. The thumbnails immediately, like I closed it, and my algorithm will never be the same.
You're going to be on Poop YouTube for the rest of your life.
Oh, PoopTube?
Yeah.
PoopTube.
Yeah.
You know about PoopTube?
Yeah, TubeTube.
TubeTube. Hey, you know what, TubeTube?
Yeah, TubeTube. The number two tube.
TubeTube.
Yeah.
Number tube. Yeah.
Oh, I hate that happened.
You really got to wonder, I mean, is it just that people are like, look, I'm filming this and you can't stop me. It's not technically against the TOS. It's educational. Guess where poop comes from? You can't stop me.
I mean, listen, kids need to know about it. They need to know about that hole.
Everybody poops. Here's the proof.
Everybody poops, even your dog.
Yeah. Look, your dog's doing it.
That should have been the tagline for this Goosebumps book.
Everybody.
Poops, even your dog.
Who is named Wolf, which we'll get into that. Oh, man. Anyway.
No one on Earth needs to be taught that dogs shit. Dog shit is like a permanent fact of life. You can't escape it.
This is such an interesting thing I just learned this past week. I don't know why I've spent so much...
That dog's shit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, did you know that this is a real fact? Dog shit doesn't turn white anymore.
What?
You may remember that it used to turn white.
Let me guess. Does it have something to do with the way that dog food is made now?
Yes.
Ah!
Yes, it does. They removed, they removed bone meal from dog food.
Oh.
That's what caused dog shit to turn nitrous?
Yep.
Fascinating.
Wow.
And they found out that bone meal was bad for dogs, so they removed it.
You know, that's the kind of thing where I actually, like, it didn't register, and then you said it, and I'm like, I actually haven't seen white, like, I see dog shit a lot, but like...
Of course, and on YouTube especially.
Yeah.
It used to be very important to certain industries, dog niter, pure finders, people that would collect shit that had become white because they used it in the production, I think, of gunpowder.
Yes, that's true. Yes.
So actually, dog shit's like super important. We've talked our way around it. I think that that educational content's actually pretty important if they return bone meal to dog food like they ought to.
Bring back bones. Put more bones in dog meal.
Feed more dogs bones.
Grind up bones and give them the dogs. They like it. They like it. They like the taste.
Yeah, they do. Can attest. When I had a dog, at least. Oh, man. I wish I had a dog. Oh, dogs are so cool. This episode, this whole book made me miss my dog. My dogs.
This hit me in a wish I had a dog kind of spot. Yeah.
All right, thinking about it, I think that it will probably be weird to front load the episode with like shit talk. Like actual literal shit talk. So maybe it'll work like as a bonus, like after the fact, like for people who stick around, and we can warn them about it.
Warning: dog shit.
Dog shit.
Warning: this contains dog shit.
everybody, and welcome to another wonderful episode of You Can't Scare Me. And I'm here we've got Brandon.
Hi.
And we've got Mario.
Hi, it's me. It's Mario. I'm the cool ghoul who's everybody's pal.
Mario, we seem to be running into a consistent issue where you are neglecting your catchphrase duties.
What?
I believe in the last episode, there was not one mention of a fucking freak anywhere.
Is there a fucking freak in this book? I guess there is a fucking freak in this book.
Are you
There
kidding
is
me?
definitely at least
Are
there's at
you-
least one there's at least one significant fucking freak in this book. I would say
There's
that.
one primo freak.
Well, in the show, he's definitely a freak.
Absolutely. Oh my god. The show, I'm so wow,
Let's just lead up with this.
episode. Oh man.
Great episode of Goosebumps. Let's lead up
just,
right
like,
now.
Fantastic.
They grabbed the dial and they cranked it to maximum coot.
Oh my gosh. All right.
He just stopped. He doesn't even use English for the first episode. he's
No.
like,
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. We're getting close.
I have a lot to say about that man. But anyway,
Yeah.
guess what? We're doing it, y'all. We're yet another Goosebumps banger. It is The Werewolf of Fever Swamp.
That's what it is.
And this is episode number 14 of Goosebumps. So let's go ahead and what did we think of this book? Just real quick, just a broad stroke.
Okay.
What did we think of this book?
Broad stroke, I did not hate this book.
I would agree.
Yeah.
I think this book is okay. I think this show is better than the book.
Interesting. Okay.
I agree. My basic note is egad bad dad.
Okay, I have a lot of feelings about the parents in this book.
Yes.
Like a lot of them.
Yes.
But the story is good.
Wait a
Yeah.
minute, Mario. Do you not like science?
I actually, you know what? I hate science. So let's go on record and say that. I loathe it.
For those who don't know, who will know very shortly, the parents in this book are both scientists.
In a certain way. in a sense, they're
kind of way.
scientists.
Yeah.
Like,
In the ancient way where you get a bunch of deer in a fence and then you see if something bad happens to them.
okay, so here's the thing. I would argue in the book they are scientists. In the show, they are just two fucking freaks. like, they're just two
Nailed it.
fucking freaks.
Oh, we're getting the freaks out of here. Fantastic.
But I think the book is pretty good. I actually think it's honestly in many ways better than most Goosebumps books. But because of that, it moves into like being evaluated as like an actual book, and in that regard, it somewhat does not meet the standard of being like an actual book. Like,
Yes. I was talking to Rachel about this because we were listening to it all yesterday on a really long car ride. And we listened to the entire audiobook, which, by the way, oh my God, I miss.
great audiobook to have back again, right?
Fantastic audiobook. I meant to look the person's name up, but the person who does the audiobook, they just did a fantastic job.
Yeah, they're great. They're really good.
You didn't have to OCR the book and pop it into the Moonbase Alpha TTS.
Ramon Diocampo is the Ramon Diocampo.
Ramon Diocampo did a fantastic job.
Yeah, great narrator.
Really, really, really good. Like they were nailing it with the inflections. They had different voices for each character. Like just really good stuff. There were a couple parts where he kind of forgot to give the main character like that kid voice, but it is what I'll take it a million times over versus like a fucking AI bullshit. The automatic like
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
the fucking the AI the text to speech. The AU.
Hey you.
Football. Oh, we actually
Football.
do have football. We have John Madden in this episode.
That's right.
We've got some John Madden, y'all. I'm so excited.
John Madden.
And they're in. It's John Madden football. Anyway, oh man, we can't get lost into the text-to-speech hole again. Mario,
Yes. Yeah.
save me with history.
I'll take you on a journey through time.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Here's the problem. Time sucked this month. Okay,
no.
here's a quick recap of history, but only as it pertains to movies, TV, and video games. The only kind of history that matters. This book was published in December of 93, which is interesting because it does take place right after Christmas, by coincidence. The movies. Number 1, Sister Act 2. Do we...
2?
Back in the Habit. Back in the Habit. They got back...
Back in the
They put the
Habit.
habit back on.
The subtitle, that's
Yeah.
That's the only, probably the only good creative thing about that movie. I'm gonna guess. I'm not gonna besmirch it and pretend that there's no way. That
I
you can
don't
make
know
it
for
good.
sure because my only Sister Act exposure is the part of the movie Spy Hard where Leslie Nielsen does Sister Act. And I like that. I like that a lot. Now here's a good one. Well, it's not the best one, but it's like a one that is better than others. Wayne's World 2.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that the original is better.
It's better.
But
Yeah.
like it's still
not the-
got good
yeah.
jokes. Like don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. You still got some classic making fun of advertisements in that one. That's the one joke. I remember.
The pizza joke. Yeah, right?
Yep.
Also, speaking of amazing comedies that we all love and made us feel good, Schindler's List came out.
The feel-good movie. Everyone loves. Wonderful.
Followed closely by a relevant movie, Beethoven's Second. What is it with sequels this month? Like,
What you could say that for every month.
I know, but hey,
after a certain
kids. Hey kids, if you think that sequels dominate media today, just know in December 93, 3 of the only movies that mattered were sequels. Here is a good one. All right, there are 2, I would say, actually exciting films on this list. Not that Schindler's List isn't a great movie. I just wouldn't call it exciting.
Yeah, to qualify that,
yeah,
Schindler's
it's
List
a classic film, but
Yeah.
not fun. Batman: Mask of the Phantasm came out this
Oh
month,
my God, are you
Which
kidding me?
I would say is the best Batman movie.
When I think of Batman movies, it is Mask of the Phantasm. It is.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so good.
Batman Returns a close second, but Batman Mask of the Phantasm is incredible. Kevin Conroy, rest in peace.
R.I.P. Bud.
Incredible performance, incredible movie. One of the all-time Mark Hamill Joker laughs in that movie.
Oh yeah.
The end where like he maybe dies. Obviously he didn't die, but like where he like is in the burning amusement park. Amazing Joker laugh. I think about it all the time. Like stellar performance.
I often think of the Joker laugh.
It's crazy. It's a great laugh. Mark Hamill's just great in general in that film. Great movie. Awesome. Number 2 in movies that matter, Tombstone came out this month.
Never seen it.
Really? Okay. You did not see... Oh, crap. I gotta take a phone call. Ah!
Rip.
I'm on call. So this is gonna be recorded, I guess. So enjoy this. Ugh. Hello? Yeah. Okay. Alrighty.
He's finishing.
Bye. Amazing, incredible. One of the most pointless phone calls I've ever received in my entire life.
Hello, do you have a phone?
What a great call to get. Thank you so much. Anyway, back in.
You missed it. I was doing you were like, hello? And I was like,
I can't relay the contents of that phone call because it does concern obviously a dead person, but waste of time.
can we okay, I have an idea of what happened. Bring.
Hello.
Hey, Mario. We have a person here. They're not moving. I think they're dead.
Okay,
I'll see you later.
all right. That is staggeringly close to what the content of the phone call were. It was literally to tell me there is a dead body.
Can you save us some time and just tell us whether it was a murder?
No, it was not a murder.
Aww.
No, I'm saying them on the phone. They're standing over the dead body.
Okay. It was just to tell me there would be a dead body at my job.
Wait.
At my job where there are frequently dead bodies.
Oh, okay, all right. I was like, there will be a dead body.
There will be. You're gonna find one.
It's like, whoa, dude, this is evidence. You can't say that.
All right. Back to film. Tombstone. I'm your Huckleberry. Val Kilmer. Classic Val Kilmer, one of his best roles, I think, as Doc Holliday in Tombstone.
Oh, Kurt Russell, Val Kilmer, yeah.
Yeah, Kurt Russell. I have not seen that movie in years, but certainly I'm Your Huckleberry is like ingrained in pop culture as a
Michael
saying.
Rooker.
Yeah.
Billy Zane? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Another Zane masterpiece.
Charlton Heston. Ugh.
You know, he was also in Mouth of Madness. He sucked as a person, but he is in sometimes good movies.
Mm.
He was the drip king because he was King Drip.
He did drip a lot.
Ugh. Is it oil in his hair?
Okay, TV. Because movies were so light, I also checked what was in Japan in 1993. Sailor Moon are the movie. I think that's the one with like a circus. No, like a dream circus.
That's the one
boat
where
or
they're
something?
pirates.
Yeah, right. There's a boat,
Whoa,
right?
what? Sick.
No. Sailor Moon R.
Oh,
shut the fuck
oh,
up.
you bastard!
Yes, I will.
You, I will.
You motherfucker.
Cover the
hold
earth in
on.
your tears, and it will still be happy to drink your blood.
I'm checking.
Goddamn.
Genuinely do not know what this movie is about. I think they played it on Toonami once, but I probably watched it then. But
I do vaguely remember seeing advertisements for this while I was watching Space Ghost.
It centers on the arrival of an alien named Fiore on Earth who has a past with Tuxedo Mask and wishes to reunite with him as being controlled by an evil flower called the Zenian Flower. Don't remember this.
Cool.
There's one that involves dreams. Maybe that's Super S. I mean, that's Super S. Anyway.
The flower makes you cheat on your girlfriend.
Yeah, it's a shitty flower.
The flower turns your lover, your lesbian lover, into your sister.
That's your cousin. Your cousin.
Your cousin. My bad.
Yeah. You hope it's not sister. You sure should hope it's not your sister.
No. Well, actually, that's. I wasn't gonna get into it, but there is probably a audience for that now.
There sure is. Yeah. Cartoon Network or Deke unintentionally creating the first
Deke,
fostering the seeds of what would currently be Pornhub's current algorithm.
It was Sailor Moon all along.
It was Sailor Moon all alone. TV. Speaking of TV and Sailor Moon, a wasteland in December '93. The only show that came on that premiered was The State, the comedy troupe The State with a bunch of the Reno 911 people. And
I heard The State's good.
The State is funny. The State is good. The State is very. It's weird how many now famous actors or now famous comedy actors were in The State.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of weird. That like when you look back, you're like, what? He was there? Like the cast of Wet Hot American Summer.
Yep.
That's like half The State. Crazy. A bunch of stuff ended. Droopy, Master Detective ended.
Oh,
what
rip.
a crime. Tom and Jerry Kids ended. I don't remember the show, but I do remember the theme song because it was like Tom and Jerry Kids. Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog ended.
And the world has never been the same.
And it's never been the same. And also Wild West Cowboys of Moo Mesa ended. I feel like we may have talked about Wild West Cowboys of Moo Mesa on this very podcast, which is strange to think that in the run of maybe 14 Goosebumps books, it aired and ended. Pretty messed up. Video games.
Well, hang on. You missed one.
What's
the
up?
most important media event of that December, televisual event, I should say,
okay.
was the ending of the Sister Act TV series, subtitle, Don't Bother None.
Oh, no.
It's gonna be one of those days.
Just one of those days.
Just one of those days.
I guess that's just the way that it is.
That's true. I just wanted to point out Wild West Cowboys of Moo Mesa.
Yeah, it's Code of the West. Yeah. Yeah.
One of the antagonists is named Horrible.
Yeah.
Sadie Wow Cow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mayor Oscar Bulloni.
Yep.
Wait, they double dipped. Sheriff Terror Bull and Horror Bull? Eat
Yeah.
shit.
They didn't try that hard.
I mean, also, I would like to stress, this has been covered on other podcasts, but the name of the show is Wild West Cowboys of Moo Mesa.
Yes.
Cow is not cow. It stands for Code of the West.
Yep.
So the name of the show is, in fact, Wild West Code of the West Boys of Moo Mesa.
They should have had a character's name be Patty.
They definitely did.
No.
There's no universe where they didn't.
Wait, hold on. I'm not seeing Patty. Wait, Patty, maybe Patty?
Yeah, Patty.
Pat. No.
If they have to use terrible, if they have to use the
like,
bull ending twice, remake the same joke.
5-card cud. Skullduggery.
Yeah.
I actually like this one. Bat Blastagun.
Yeah, Bat Blasting. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Tim Curry was on Code of the West.
Cow Bell. Belle.
Yeah.
Eat my ass. Fuck you. The Great Bovini. I'm closing this tab. I'm closing it.
Okay, so video games. We got
What we got?
a lot, actually. Pretty important ones.
Cool.
Blake Stone and the Aliens of Gold, a Wolfenstein clone, which I bought a copy of in Florida in 7th grade. Cool spot.
Cool spot. Yes. Cool
about the spot. So Duke Nukem 2.
Huh. Okay.
Final Fight 2.
Oh, Final Fight.
Yeah,
Ooh.
yeah. Kirby's Adventure.
Oh, yeah. Classic. Yeah, yep.
Yeah, yep. Now this is a fun one. It's a game called Jack in the Dark.
A game many have played since.
It's a spin-off, would you believe, of Alone in the Dark, which is also funny.
What?
Like, yeah, it's a spin-off of Alone in the Dark called Jack in the Dark, and if you put those two together, that is funny.
Jack in the Dark is a spin-off game made during Alone in the Dark 2's development. It was used as a promotional game distributed at Christmas 1993. The game was on a single floppy disk in a golden wrap featuring a Jack in the Box illustration at the top. Huh.
Yeah.
Oh, and we just got that Alone in the Dark remake too, which not that good. Actually started out pretty strong, but then kind of falls on its face.
I have heard that. I've been holding back on the secrets, what the best ones were. I'm gonna go in ascending order. All right. So the number 2 is Art of Fighting. Art of Fighting released in December 93, and that is important to me because it begins SNK's. Well, Fatal Fury did that, but it continues SNK's fighting game history and will ultimately lead to the creation of Dan Hibiki in Street Fighter. So that's important.
I did not know that.
That's important, yeah, because Ryo, the protagonist of Art of Fighting, is of course a clone of Ryu from Street Fighter, and Capcom, having a little joke, put a character that was designed to look like a combination of the two protagonists of Art of Fighting into Street Fighter Alpha and made him the worst character in the game.
Wait, it's called Art of Fighting?
Yeah.
It's called Ryuko no Ken?
Yes.
That's pretty funny. Ryu and Ken in the
so important. Also, it would give us Yuri Sakazaki, the younger sister of Ryo, who would ultimately lead the creation of Sakura in Street Fighter, because Capcom ripped them off for that one. And look at that. Also, most important of all, Doom came out in this month.
Ooh.
Doom.
Oh,
Yeah.
you saved the best for
Yeah,
last.
Doom.
Wowee.
The Doom.
The Doom.
Yeah,
Wow.
kind of a big deal.
I think that was the first. I want to say I need to. I think, when did Warcraft come out? Warcraft 1.
I don't know. I haven't covered it yet, so maybe not 93.
94.
That's why I haven't covered it yet.
I guess Doom was the first. Yeah, I think Doom was the first game I played. My dad had a Mac in our kitchen. I remember there was a space between the kitchen and the breakfast room, and he had an old Mac set up, and he was playing Doom on it.
Damn.
And I went over there, and he let me mess around with it a little bit. And I remember being totally blown away. That was fucking sick. Hell yeah.
I first played Doom on the 32X.
Damn. Wow.
It wasn't good.
No.
I mean, I liked it. I didn't know any better.
I played Doom on a TI-84.
Oh, wait a minute. Did I play? Oh, no. I'm getting confused because my grandparents had a Atari 2600? 2800? 600? Yeah, 2600. Yeah. Yep, I remember that. Yep. And but they had it for a long time. So I remember playing it when I was older. So I do have memories of playing 2600 games, but they're from not when the 2600 actually came out. So I get fucked up like that. Anyway.
I was discussing this with someone, I don't know who, but it's interesting. The game Descent is a game that exists to be on your stepdad's computer. and you play it. That's how you play it. I don't think anyone but stepdads owned the game Descent.
It's a cool
We
game.
haven't gotten there yet, but one day we will cover it. Unless we have covered it, in which case I have said as much.
Wait, I want to put out I want to see how many people have the same experience. Do uncles like to play Asteroids? Because my uncle loved playing Asteroids. Is that an uncle game? Never mind. Don't worry about it.
My uncle had, I don't remember what game it was. You were on a magic carpet and there were like dragons you were shooting.
I wanted to say Aladdin, but
It's not. It was like a first PC. It was a first person, like you were flying on a carpet over a very, very basic looking grassy plain.
Wait, is that one game?
There were serpentine dragons that were quite linear and like
Prince of Persia?
It was not Prince of Persia. It would be. I mean, I bet maybe Google's Magic AI will tell me Magic Carpet. Magic Carpet video. Is it literally called Magic Carpet? It's called Magic Carpet. It's the game Magic Carpet.
Well, it didn't really need Google for that one.
The dragons, as I called them, maybe not what you would classically term a dragon. Giant turds.
See, my uncle's always played this one game, and it was like isometric, and it featured, you play it as a prince. It was set in Persia. What was that? Gosh, let's Google it.
I thought you were going somewhere completely different with that, but thank you for taking it that way. Anyway, Mario, the picture that Mario just posted, it literally looks like the Pokemon Onyx.
It does a bit.
Yeah, without the head.
Yeah.
And that's it.
So I played that at my
Those are quote-unquote dragons.
So anyway, besides Doom, one of the most important games of all time.
To ever come out. Yeah,
ever. That's it. That's all of gaming history for the year of 93.
I was curious what Goosebumps book came out on September 11th, 2001.
Oh my god.
And I cannot find one. So
maybe there wasn't.
R.L. Stine, what were you doing during 9/11?
Well, this would have been surely in Goosebumps 2000 time, right? If not main series anymore.
He was choosing his own adventure.
Goosebumps series 2000. Oh yeah. Oh no, series 2000 ended in 2000, and it was followed by Horrorland, which did not start until 2008.
Exactly.
So actually, he was not accounted for.
Nope. Tisk tisk.
Tisk tisk.
R.L. Stine. Did you see that portal that was unveiled? It was like a big screen that was like a stream on each side. Linking, I think it was it like London or like, I forget what it's called. The project is called The Portal. I'm going to look
No, I didn't see that they had unveiled the portal.
Yeah.
I missed that one, actually.
It's a portal between New York and Ireland. And the reason I have 9/11 on the brain is because someone with a phone walked up to the portal, which is literally just a screen that is streaming both ends from New York to Dublin, and someone ran by with a phone that had the Twin Towers smoking on it. And
Bob,
put it up
this is so fucked up. I am on a page of Reddit at this exact moment, and it just showed me a picture of the fucking portal.
Yeah. Well, that's because they're listening to everything that we say all the time. Yeah, microphones are everywhere, and so
why is it the Google Chrome logo?
Why is it goatsy?
It is the Google Chrome logo. It is not good. It is decidedly not.
You could easily make it goatsy though.
Yes.
You can make this goatsy in like 10 seconds.
Oh my god, I've never wanted to see the Goat Man more than
two people can make it goatsy in about very quick. If you could just 2 people show up. No, 4 people show up on opposite ends of the earth with large cardboard hands. And they slowly move towards.
Do not do that. We will all die. That is how the world ends.
Inside of Goatsy's butthole is the Twin Towers smoking.
That's how the Infinity Bell chimes its last ring, and humanity ends.
We quiet the chiming of the Infinity Bell with Goatsy.
Speaking of the hands of humanity, How about this Goosebumps book?
I love Goosebumps. Hi, I'm R.L. Stein.
Hi, I'm R.L. Stein.
Hi, I'm R.L. Stein. We get a lot of hi, I'm R.L. Stein when we went through this, but we'll talk about that later. Hey, Brandon.
Yeah.
I hear that books have visuals on the front of them and that you should judge them by those visuals.
That's right, Bob. This is Judging a Book by Its Cover, where we do what they say we should not do. You can't scare me, and you can't tell me what to do.
I love it. Keep going, keep going.
Fuck.
Yeah.
It hurt, actually.
Okay, so I've sent you all the covers. We're going to start with the Jacobus original, the one probably most people recognize.
God, it's a good cover, though.
Oh my God. These colors define my teenage years.
This cover kicks ass, actually.
This is so good. Like,
Yeah.
just...
Like, if I could get a Goosebumps cover framed, this would be one of them. Like,
I really want a t-shirt with this cover on it. Like,
this is dope as shit. Like,
this is the fucking best.
Yeah, this rules.
It looks good. I think we all agree it would be better if there were 3 wolves instead of 1.
Now, true.
But
Yeah, I mean, that would make it 3 times as good.
While we're here, this is a spoiler for a later book, but I do have a shirt with One Day at Horrorland on it.
Hell yeah.
So, I also have a blanket that's One Day at Horrorland, but, you know, like...
Wait, that's coming up soon, isn't it?
It is. It's like in 2 books, I
it's
think.
like 2 books. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's another book that's coming up next. I don't know. It's weird.
A little weird. Yeah, no one's ever heard of that book. Anyway, Brandon, talk about this cover. Talk about this cover. Use words to paint a picture.
It has an image on it. There's some color. The text is in purple blue letters on a yellow-green ground, and the illustration,
fucking great.
The wolf is sitting on a rock above a green pond of water, howling at the sky. The wolf is not humanoid in any way, just a straight-up wolf. The large full moon is visible in the purple sky behind him. The pond is hemmed in on all sides by swampy brush, and the water of the pond itself is bright Gatorade green.
God, it's so good.
On the same rock is a shirt and baseball cap, no pants. Scandalous. It's a nice composition.
This shirt and hat actually resembled the shirt and hat that a character will wear on the cover of Camp Jelly Jam.
Oh yeah.
Weirdly, I'm just realizing that, but go on.
The wolf ate that guy.
Oh, it's true.
Yeah, the wolf ate that guy. The wolf but where are his pants? I guess he ate the pants.
He either ate the pants or he didn't have them.
Or they fell into the Mountain Dew / Monster Energy swamp.
God, it's a good cover. God, the colors are so good on this. Like,
it is. I want to eat this book. This is the most Tide Poddy cover of a.
Yeah, this looks delicious. This text, color, and background is like what I think of as the Goosebumps logo. Like,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
This is the perfect Goosebumps color palette. Frankly, they could all be this way and it would be fine. Like,
it's like if you went straight secondary colors and then moved the hue slider over like 5 or 10 degrees. It's not quite exactly the green that you're probably picturing in your mind or the purple that you're picturing in your mind.
It's a few degrees on the slider, and you'd be at that hideous Joker palette that I do when I play video games to look horrible. But also it's pretty close to Ava Unit 1.
Yeah, it's almost Evangelion.
It's almost Evangelion.
Oh my god. Yeah. Oh wow, yeah, it totally is. Oh, we gotta be on the lookout for the next for the other Ava units.
I'm telling you what, it just fucking works, man. Like, this color palette, Ava 1, this cover kicks ass. Like,
is there a black and white Goosebumps cover color palette?
There
so that we can get some Bardial up in here?
Surely there is. Well, I don't know.
There's gotta be, right?
We haven't seen it yet, at least.
Not maybe in the American covers, maybe in the Korean
That'd be
covers
sick if it was like a story about like getting stuck in like a black and white, like a silent movie or something.
I don't think that Goosebumps that they think this far ahead. I don't think although to their credit, this palette does match both the sky in this picture and the Mountain Dew swamp.
Yeah, the Monster Energy. Yeah, totally. Also, this is these are the exact colors for Mountain Dew Pitch Black. Minus the red. Oh wait, the red is in the Scholastic logo.
Yeah.
We did it.
This is a drinkable cover.
It totally is.
This is a very drinkable cover. Oh my god, it's so good. The wolf looks great.
I cannot stress this enough. This is fantastic.
The little drool on the side of the mouth. Oh my god.
That's a pretty. The eyes closed on the wolf, giving a big ol' howl with the moon framing their head is perfect.
His silhouette lit.
Now the tagline is bad.
Who's afraid of the big bad wolf?
They could do better than that. They could do a lot better than that.
Should I say, I'm afraid of the big bad wolf?
They could say that, or
What big teeth you have?
that's actually I think they do that.
Oh fuck.
On the back cover, I think it's a Little Red Riding Hood reference.
Oh,
we don't
gotcha.
see that, but according to Wikipedia, I believe it's in there.
Well, let's move on to a worse cover.
Yeah.
Oh, do we have to?
This is the classic Goosebumps cover.
Oh god.
The classic Goosebumps cover depicts a humanoid creature that looks more like a rat than a wolf.
Come
It's very,
on.
very
It does.
important for the werewolf to look good. And this looks like a rat.
This is a rat. This is a
It's
rat, man.
This is a fucking rat. This
behind-
is a Germa ass rat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Behind his head is a large yellow full moon and a purple sky. On both sides of the rat thing are gnarled bare trees, and a shirt and baseball cap are laying on the ground near the creature. He appears to be standing in
Sucks.
front of a purple lake in which the moon is reflected. This would be a much better cover if he didn't look like a rat. It's a werewolf. It's in the name. You have to do the
Yeah.
werewolf.
Yeah, why does he look so rat-like? Just make the snout longer.
Yeah, for real. This is Dorman, right?
This is our usual classics guy.
I will say, I do like the hue going from pink to blue in the background from the moon. And there are multiple times in the book where the moon is described as like a cheese yellow. So.
Yeah. Okay, I don't think this is his worst cover. I'll put
By no means. It's definitely like it's legible. You can understand what it is.
I like the fireflies as well.
The
I
fireflies.
think the background's actually pretty good. It's just that the main
I like the
figure
fireflies.
is weirdly shaped and he looks
Yeah,
like a big
it's-
rat.
I must say, I don't really like the symmetrical trees thing going on. I don't like the framing of
I
it.
don't like how it's framed. Yeah, it's just too much visual. It's too just like all of most. I don't want to say all. I haven't seen them all, but most of Dorman's covers. It's just too. It's too busy. There's too much.
Yeah.
Like there's such a wonderful simplicity to Jacobus's work. It's just. Yeah, I think Dorman's really good with color though. I really do like how contrasty a lot of this is. Weirdly enough, this is a sort of a contrast. Like the contrast has been pulled down for this cover because I'm looking at the audiobook which uses the Dorman cover on it, and they up the contrast. Like it is super contrasty on that one. It's like a cartoon. It's like it's animated or something. It's really weird.
Moving to the amazing UK cover.
UK, this
The
fucking
UK.
guy.
Yeah, the UK cover, as usual, features character heads suspended in multicolored bubbles and goo. The font is black with orange outline, and the goo transitions from the top of the page to the bottom, starting at yellow, then goes to orange, then pink, then neon green.
I have no idea what does that.
Oh, no one knows why it does that.
Oh, it's because he's sinking in a Sour Patch Kids watermelon.
That's
Yeah.
It's in a big bowl of spumoni.
Yeah.
Ugh, that Goosebumps logo with the black. God damn it.
That's bad.
Yeah,
That's
it
bad.
looks bad. It doesn't look good. But front and center are the heads of what I presume to be Wolf the dog and Grady. Wolf the dog's maw is fully open with his tongue lolling out. His eyes are wide open, showing the whites, and he is looking off screen. His expression is unhinged. Grady is staring at the viewer with a bemused, almost DreamWorks character smirk. His big full lips pursed like he just told an excellent joke, and one eyebrow is raised.
Why?
It's goofy as hell.
Why is his eyebrow raised? Why does he I don't know. Why don't you tell me?
guess
Who's the
is
werewolf?
he-
I don't know.
Is he turning into the dog? Because, look how far over the ear is. One of the ears is, on top of his head.
Yeah, I can't tell if this is supposed to be a werewolf metamorphosis thing going on.
Yeah.
I don't know, because it's not really. It's not an Animorphs thing.
Yeah.
It's not blended in such a way to illustrate a metamorphosis. It's just like a boy's head is emerging from the back of of a wolf's head, and the boy is
Smarmy.
sucks. I hate this boy.
The boy is Chris Kattan. Can we just agree on that?
Yeah, a little bit
Yeah.
Chris Kattan energy.
It is so aggressively Chris Kattan. I can't stand it.
I would credit this as having a great color, or the right color slime. Like the green would be great, but then they put the orange and pink on there, and I don't know what the fuck it's doing. Just make it all green, guys. It's not complicated.
I will say that the dog illustration is really good.
Yeah.
They did a good job making that look like a dog.
Yeah.
That's a problem that a lot of these covers have, and this one doesn't.
That is true.
It's almost like a photorealistic dog too.
It also looks unhinged, and that's pretty
Yes.
good.
It's
Yes,
crazy.
yes.
It does not match the energy of the boy in any way.
No. It's like, oh, my dog bit you. I guess my dog did bite you.
Oh, is somebody turning into a werewolf?
Yeah, he's doing his like I'm on the vinyl cover for an 80s comedy album.
This is one of those covers, listener. You have to see it.
You have to see it.
I will be posting all of the covers on Blue Sky and on Twitter. Go there if you want to look at them. Talking about it doesn't do it justice. You need to see this kid, Chris Kattanning at you. It is horrible.
Like, I can't even say it's bad because I'm fascinated by this kid.
Yeah,
Like,
why? Like, and why does the kid seem to have a fucking ear like coming out of his head? Like, that's not even where the ear is supposed to be. If it was the dog's, anyway.
no, it's way too far over.
Yeah. Moving on to the French cover, Le Loup-garou de Marrakech. On the cover
Wow.
for that, a boy in the bottom center of the frame has his back turned to the viewer, his arms flailed up in defensive fashion to protect from an enormous red-eyed dog in the center of the frame, a dog head, I should say, the head alone being larger than the boy's entire body. Above the head is a small, pale moon, and it illuminates Wheat to the sides of the head. The dog's head, freaked out kid, and Wheat all appear to be wildly out of proportion with each other, and it's kind of a rare miss for the French covers, in my opinion.
I don't like it.
They're too out of proportion with each other. The dog head is gigantic. The kid is like the size of an Oompa Loompa, and the Wheat is big too. The moon is tiny.
Yeah, I'm just not vibing with it. I don't know.
Don't look that good.
Yeah, it for some reason it reminds me of, I forget who did the art on it, but the Pink Floyd The Wall, the animation in the movie.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
It's very, very stark. You know, it's very.
It is stark.
Also, why are they in a cornfield?
Also, the dog is. I'm going to be honest with you. In this one, it's too much of a dog.
Yeah, it's a dog. It's just straight up a dog. Like what?
Yeah, like that's not a wolf, my dude. That's a dog.
Yeah, that's like a. That's kind of a Doberman vibe. Yeah.
That's just a big dog, man.
Yeah, dude. Or maybe it's a tiny kid. You don't know.
A lot of the alternate covers don't look very good. Like, we're also moving to the Dutch cover. This was also kind of a doofy one.
What the fuck?
Sucks, dog.
Dutch cover for Kippenvel. A child in a moonlit meadow is front and center and is horrified to see a beclawed paw on his shoulder. He has an after image like he is doing a Mortal Kombat slide. Far behind him is a monster head looking halfway between a wolf and a tiger.
Yeah.
The monster's head looks like it is too far away to be connected to the paw, which is very close to the boy. His expression is also pretty doofy. I guess werewolves must be really hard to draw because we've seen a lot of bad looking ones so far.
True. I do think that's probably true. I think that probably some people are really good at drawing werewolves, and some of them draw werewolves really good because they like werewolves, and some of them draw werewolves really good because they like werewolves. Do you get it?
Yeah. I actually mentioned that to Rachel while we were listening to it. I was like, how many like kids had their furry awakening when they were like reading this book? But, okay, I have a question. I have a question.
Yeah.
How because it looks like this, how much do we want to bet that this is one of those like lenticular like displays where it like looks like the kid is like turning and the paw is like coming at you or like attacking them? Like,
I did try to find a better version of this image. It doesn't appear to be a lenticular, but that also could just be like a reprint. I can't tell.
Can we talk about the fact that looks like a cat paw?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, and also, well, I mean, I think they were going with like Siberian tiger face a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, in any case,
you should definitely mention the name of the book.
Het Morass Monster.
It's the swamp monster, probably. Yeah, swamp monster. I presume.
Which, I mean, we'll get to it.
Yeah. Moving to...
Because werewolf isn't mentioned until, like, the last third of the book, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, it's at the very beginning.
I just want to say real quick, speaking of good werewolf drawings, if you want to see some good fucking werewolves, Stephen King's novella, which I think is pretty okay, Cycle of the Werewolf, it's a decent werewolf story. It's mostly a bunch of werewolf short stories that are loosely connected, and it was turned into the great movie, Oh my gosh, Brandon, the movie. Gary Busey's in it.
Oh,
we watch it every year.
Silver Bullet.
Silver Bullet, thank you. God, Jesus. We watch it every year. My brain blanked at the most important time.
Trust me.
Forgive me.
I am a Silent Hill dude. I have been doing Silent Hill stuff my entire life, and even like sometimes I will just forget the names of basic shit. So
Well, so Cycle of the Werewolf is a pretty okay novella. It's a short read if you like Stephen King. And I don't really, but I liked it.
Depends on the era, you know?
Yeah, the movie Silver Bullet is great. And
it's great.
Bernie Wrightson, the artist, did the art for what was supposed to be a calendar that got turned into this novella. If you want to see some fucking great werewolf art,
Werewolf art?
Bernie Wrightson's illustrations for Cycle of the Werewolf are the dopest shit. Like, they're so fucking
Holy
cool.
shit.
Yeah, that rules.
That
There's-
first
See,
one
people
is-
knew how to do it, just not these guys.
Wow. Some artists really, like, you can tell that they did, they have a lot of history with like study of form and like musculature. And I feel like that's one of the things that really defines a werewolf is
the muscles,
and just like
yeah.
being this threatening force, like getting not only like it's a combination of knowing animal form and human form and combining them in a really fascinating way. And this first one is just like, yeah, this is
Look at this
masterful.
one.
This is nuts.
Fucking-
Look, he's ripped.
Ripping his fucking face off, dude.
Gosh, this is awakening feelings.
Oh my god.
The one on him on this car or this on this truck is awesome.
Wow. These are really good.
They're great. The illustrations are great, and I think the book is okay. I think it's short, worth reading, and you get the illustrations for free. So, like,
God. Yeah, Stephen King.
Returning to Kippenville.
Yeah.
There's a second Kippenville cover for this book.
Is it better?
It's
kind of.
It's,
I would say
it's more
yeah.
technically accomplished. So the new Dutch cover has a close up of a wolf's T-zone with yellow eyes. The wolf's face is obscured towards the bottom of the image by the image of a full moon behind scraggly tree limbs. The wolf's fur and eyes are rendered photorealistically. It's an okay cover. Like, technically that all looks very good, but it's honestly kind of a little boring in terms of a composition. You really got to see the werewolf, but I guess it's not as bad as if it looked like a rat or just didn't look like a werewolf or something.
Yeah.
It's got kind of like somebody asked me to make a cover real fast, like energy to it.
Honestly, and not to throw these under the bus, but like the I forget what they're called, the novellas where it's just like there's a sexy dude on the cover.
Oh, Harlequin Romance.
Harlequin Romance.
Yeah. It's kind of got that vibe where not like the older ones where they were all really cool drawings and like there was actual craft put into it.
Just like
the
photo of
modern
guy.
ones.
Photo of guy
it's
on
it's
cover.
photo of
Yeah.
dude. I did this real quick in Photoshop here, whatever.
This feels like a thing you could do in about 20 minutes if you really be like.
It feels like one of those like bargain basement like dumpster cover things where like a bunch of Harlequin Romance authors just go to one or two people that just produce these all day long, and it's like they're mostly photoshopped images.
Yeah.
And this is like the post or is it pre Fabio open shirt era where they have like a woman pining.
And it definitely you're totally correct, because it really does feel like the logo and like the text part of it was done by someone completely different. Than the person who did like the bottom, like the middle and bottom portion of it.
So coming up on what might be the best cover.
Two good covers here in a row.
What
the Korean
I want
cover.
this on a shirt. Jesus Christ, this is sick.
In the excellent Korean cover, a red-eyed werewolf has its humanoid arms raised around it with big long claws. As it howls at the sky, behind it a large white moon is in a black sky. Painted blotches of blue fog swirl around it. The figure is very stylized, like a pastel illustration of a Tim Burton wolf puppet, or like one of those Soviet stop-motion kind of characters. That's like the sort of shapes and general abstraction. I can't describe it that much better than that, but it's a really good looking cover. Very, very painterly.
Yeah, this rules.
I love that painterly look. Yeah,
it's got it's so simple. It rules. It's so cool.
Agreed.
It's a lot better than the story. I mean, I don't even dislike the story, but this is much cooler than the story deserves.
Yeah.
Yes,
A little bit,
I would say you are correct. It's hard to explain even what it evokes. It's like a primal thing. It's rad. Like,
it's really good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like impressionistic almost.
Yeah.
And you really get like the sort of like the guttural sort of fury from this. I like it a lot.
Also, you can tell it's a fucking wolf.
Yeah. 1000%. You immediately look at, and is
That's
this
a werewolf
the first
right
time
there.
that we've seen a werewolf oh no, the dog in Le Loup-garou des Miracages has red eyes. So
Yeah.
I thought they
Yeah,
would play
yeah.
a little bit more with the red eyes, but
The Indonesian cover is also great.
Love it.
Yes.
Love it.
super stylized.
Yeah, beneath the trouble fluid font, the Indonesian cover depicts another stylized humanoid wolf creature floating in abstract shapes that resemble trees, flowing water, and at the bottom a row of canine teeth.
Yeah.
The werewolf is hunched over. There is no expression on its face, but it has its claws extended in front of it. This is a great looking cover. Sharp shit.
I love this cover.
Super good, super good.
Again, you can tell it's a wolf right off the bat. I love you can tell it's a swamp, even though it's like super stylized. You get completely swamp vibes from it. Like, great cover. Excellent cover.
Yeah, it looks excellent. And he's also, spoilers, kind of half submerged.
Yeah.
Not that it would be that surprising to guess what happens to a werewolf if it's a werewolf in a swamp. I also like that thing where, so the top half of the werewolf, its like chest is huge and bushy, and it's got like an extremely thin waist. It's like drawn down to a very thin spindly bit, kind of like a Jack Skellington waist with big long spindly legs, and his arms are really long and wiry.
This is reminding me of a toy I used to have, a Beast Wars, the Transmetal series. It was the Transmetals 2. It was Cheetor. Cheetor had this exact like sort of build where he was super buff at the top, and then he had like a little spindly.
It's a perfect V.
Anyway, but yeah, no, this is fantastic. Honestly, this of all of the covers, this feels the most modern.
Yeah. This is a super sharp cover. Like if I had to pick one as like this one is attractive, and I would put it up on a wall, probably this one.
Yeah,
I like the Jacobus original, although I will say the one problem with the original is that it is a wolf. It is not like a werewolf at all.
Yeah, you know what?
It's a real specific interpretation of a werewolf, like which you are literally just a wolf. Like,
yeah, I mean, I guess it's better than if he tried to make it like tried to do the Animorphs thing and screwed it up like some of these other guys did. At least it's a good composition.
It's definitely a wolf, I can say that for sure. So like box 1 is checked on that cover.
And also I like the Jacobus original because it also plays with the inherent sort of mystery that's happening in the book, because there is a dog named Wolf, which we will talk about, but it's like, what is going on here? What kind of werewolf is it? Like, how does this magic system work? Like, is Wolf the thing that we should be afraid of, or is it something else?
I like the mood of the Jacobus cover, but like stylistically, I think this is very good, and I like if you follow me, like,
I would love to see someone merge the two, to merge this super stylized like look of what's this one, the Indonesian cover, with the color of the original, of the Jacobus original. That'd be sick. Anyway,
there was a lot of merch for this book. I only put a couple of things in here I specifically wanted to talk about. They have fake wolf gloves, which are brown but have like bear claws.
Wait, these are gloves?
Slippers.
That's what they look like.
I think
slippers.
they're slippers. Yeah.
Oh, they're
For sure.
slippers. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I would wear these around the house for sure.
I would totally do that. Yeah.
And they got the number 14 on there, so you don't forget.
And also the wolf howling is you don't forget what you're wearing.
Look at that. They like sewed in.
R.L. Stein
patch.
telling us to never forget it.
Never forget. Yeah. Well, suspicious.
I honestly, these look pretty nice. Like, look pretty quality.
They look comfortable. Also, the claws are
great.
not plastic. They look soft. They look like they're leather.
They look like vinyl, yeah. Leather.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, they look like if you tapped someone with them, it wouldn't hurt them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And the patch of there's a wolf howling before the moon, like emblazoned on the side, and there's little clouds, like wispy clouds around it. That's pretty strong. He even has a silhouette. He's rim lighting.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Some people worked on this. Someone cared about this.
I like this. I would
like
buy
it too.
this. This is merchandise I'd buy.
Agree. I'm gonna go on eBay right now and find them.
Goosebumps number 14, werewolf slippers. Actually, that would be pretty good. But the most important one is the hecking skateboard deck.
Oh my god! Fuck yes!
Goosebumps Sport.
Goosebumps Sport.
Yeah, Goosebumps Sport 1996 Parachute Press Incorporated was like, we got to make a skateboard out of this.
You got to make a gang. We got to make a skateboard out of this.
But they put bats in front of the moon. That's cute. and a big G.
Big G.
And you'd be a big G if you had this.
Also, funny enough, not the last skateboard that we're going to talk about in this episode. So have fun when we get to that part. If you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
If you know, if you don't know yet, you're gonna know.
Mm-hmm.
Stay tuned.
You will know.
Also, I am killing time trying to find this on eBay, and I cannot find it.
No, I can't find it.
However, I have found a Goosebumps werewolf skin VHS lamp and remote. It is a VHS with a light bulb inside of it, so it is glowing green with a Goosebumps. It looks like Monster Blood cover, and that is actually kind of fucking sick.
That's pretty. Yeah,
that is pretty cool.
Hold on, stop. I have to post something. My Google search for trying to find this has brought a website called I'm Feeling Crafty, or feelingcrafty.wordpress. This is run by an architect, artist, crafter, photographer, sewer, quilter, mother, wife. So I'm going to be very nice to this lady and not say anything mean, but I'm going to post an image of the costume of the Goosebumps Werewolf Fairy Swamp from the Goosebumps movie that she has made.
That werewolf be wearing basketball shorts.
That's film accurate. I'm learning. I don't remember this, but it's true. That is, in fact, a pretty film accurate depiction of this werewolf.
Did this scene take place in a grocery store?
It did.
Oh, okay. I was like, that's a weird choice otherwise.
Whoa. I just realized this. Are those Converse sneakers on this werewolf?
Yeah.
Oh my, I love the movie even more. It's fantastic.
Yeah. Anyway, that's all I had to say about that. Now, the brand, I see a shirt here.
Yeah, it's a shirt. It's got the Jacobus cover. It's completely fine. I just brought it in here because on the back in gigantic, hideous font,
Lord of the Rings font,
entire back. Yeah, Lord of the Rings font is number 14, the Werewolf of Fever Swamp, covering the entire thing, just in case anyone needed to know. You'd be the coolest kid and reviled at the same time. You can be both. And then after that is the most important shirt anyone ever made. I don't think I need to describe it to anybody. I think you know it in your spirit.
Mm-hmm.
If you can, we're talking about wolves, so if you can imagine what shirt might be here, I think you can figure it out.
If you like wolves, just imagine that there are more of them. Perhaps multiply that by 3.
I would just like to make one final piece of werewolf merchandise known, and I have no pictures of it because it was a thing I saw with my human eyes, and I would have no way of finding it online. But this is a true story. When we were in Japan in 2019, I was in the Mandarake Grand Chaos in Osaka, and I was buying a Pat Labor Ingram action figure, or whatever, because I saw it sitting in a bin of like cheap items, and it was like God spoke to me. And I went to buy it, and I handed it to the cashier, and it was a sweet young lady. Very nice, very polite, of course. And I looked up and I saw her shirt. There was a pin on it. It was a pin of a werewolf butt fucking a man. Like brutally pinning this man down and fucking the shit out of him.
What Goosebumps book is that?
That's just a piece of werewolf merch that I remember and will never forget.
What the fuck?
So never cry.
Was it a Twilight thing?
No, it was definitely not. No.
Okay, all right.
It was not a Twilight thing.
Hey, Mario, let's not kink shame on this podcast, please.
No, I'm not. Hey, listen, what I mostly thought was, man, I wish I had the confidence of this person. Like,
I just love the idea.
Every person that comes in on this story today is going to see this and be like, yeah, that's what this is about.
Incredible. I love more the idea that this person is wearing this pin and you see it and your first thought is man, comma.
Piece of flair.
Man.
That is flair.
It's a piece of flair.
That's Ruby Tuesdays, baby.
If your fucking Applebee's waiter comes over.
I'm totally going to add that to...
Office Space?
Office Space, yeah. I'm going to change that scene where all the pins are just... that. Mario, you need to get with me. We need to find that picture so that I can...
It's going to be a very specific Google search.
Well, now that we got
Let's talk about the book.
Yeah, it's time for Guess what? Chapter summary discussion. And who was first? My God, who could possibly have been the first person to talk about the first few chapters of this book?
If you can believe it, it was me.
Oh, shit. Mario, take us away yet again.
Okay.
Transport us. Make us feel like we have fevers.
So I should note this actually takes place the week after Christmas. Well, actually, no. It takes place. This fucked me up. This book is partially a flashback.
Yeah, it's weird.
Which weirded me out. So actually, it begins during like New Year's, but it then takes place during Christmas. Figure that out, kids. This is some Netflix Witcher shit you're going to piece together. All right, my first thought is this the best first chapter in a Goosebumps book? In so much as it does begin with a wolf howling. So there is a werewolf technically in the first sentence of this book, which is pretty remarkable for a Goosebumps book, if I must say.
Already beaten Curse of the Mummy's Tomb.
Yeah, exactly.
Like immediately.
Immediately. Okay. Grady is 12 years old. He has moved to the extra shitty part of Florida from Burlington, Vermont, because his dad wants to see, quote, if South American swamp deers can survive in the, I guess, Everglades. Which is, I guess that's science. I guess that's technically science.
Hey, are you a scientist?
I mean, and aren't we all at some point in our lives?
Oh, well, when you put it like that.
We are all scientists of the world, of the natural world.
I would like to note right here that I fucking got R.L. Stine on something. This is a gotcha moment for R.L. Stine.
Oh my God.
Swamp deer aren't from South America. R.L. They're not. There are real. Swamp deer are real. They are from India. However, there are marsh deer in South America. And they directly meet the description that R.L. Stine gives of them, which is they have webbed toes.
Look, in R.L. Stine's defense, his name stands for really lost, so he doesn't really know where stuff is.
Well, here's what I think happened.
Huh?
I think that R.L. Stine either put the word marsh deer in this book and then someone editing at Scholastic said kids don't know what marshes are and changed it to swamp, or R.L. Stine saw the word marsh and thought it sounded better for them to be swamp, unaware that there is a different breed of deer called swamp deer.
I think some level of unawareness is called for because later on he also says like green snakes aren't poisonous.
Yeah.
No, they're not venomous. And also the green mamba is venomous.
You piece of shit.
It's not
Idiot.
America, but
Dad! Fuck you, Dad!
There's another... No, you shut the fuck up, Dad. But there's also another... thing that he is wrong about that we will talk about post haste.
Yeah. So I just think it's okay. So this, I'll just say it here, but it's more true in the show, but it's here too. This fucking freak,
He said it, y'all.
just took some deer from another country and brought them to Florida. And is like, my experiment is, will these deer die? I don't know. Well, let's find out. Or actually, it's not even will these deer die. It's when will these deer die? Like,
Yeah.
In the show, it is most certainly when are these deer going to die. But he is joined by his 16-year-old shock of the century. We have an older sister.
Yeah, I was blown away.
Like what? Emily, who is both regular teen miserable and living in Florida miserable. So extremely miserable. Grady is curious about the swamp they have moved next to, despite the menacing howls he hears from it every night. While waiting on a letter from her boyfriend, Emily, her boyfriend is Martin, we're not important, but I thought it might have been, it wasn't. Emily is made to accompany Grady on an ominous short walk, in which the last words of this chapter are literally, Emily, what could go wrong? Begging for comeuppance.
Wasn't it the dad who likes to just go on a walk in the swamp?
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
Can you kids just
you'll probably learn something.
Yeah, they'll learn how to fucking die real quick.
I also frankly, it's better than the show. This is a better,
oh my God.
This is a better situation than the show's version.
We can't talk about the show needs to be contained to later. We need to talk about the book, and then we will. We will talk about the show.
The most unhinged things to happen. One of the most unhinged things to happen.
There are so many unhinged things. Anyway,
any other things anybody wants to add about chapter 1?
Nope.
No. I I'm appreciative of R.L. Stine having that little, even though it kind of is a little bit of a time warp, I do appreciate, especially from the kids zone area, I can appreciate how as a kid reading this, like you immediately get the werewolf stuff. You immediately get like, oh, there's some intrigue, because if you didn't have that, this is a lot. Like there, as I said before, like it takes a while before anyone even says the word werewolf.
No, I totally agree. It was the right call to do it in a flash forward scenario. Like, it was fully the right call.
Yeah. And that's all I got.
Chapter 2, R.L. Stine gives, I think, a pretty solid description of a swamp. I think R.L. Stine, genuinely, I think R.L. Stine's imagery in this book, when it pertains to the swamp, is pretty good. Like, I had a fairly clear vision of what the swamp looked like. It felt like a swamp. I mean, maybe it's not that hard to describe a swamp, but to R.L. Stine's credit, I think he does a good job. I think it's a compelling depiction.
Yes.
It's humid and sticky, and for $1 million, I would not be here as a child.
Yes.
Or an adult.
I would hate being there. Yes.
I would hate every moment of this.
But like many children, you might not necessarily get the choice.
Right.
Yeah.
I liked in chapter 1, the dad says, like, this is the chance of a lifetime, Grady. Yeah, the chance to live in the shittiest part of Florida. Got it.
Yeah,
thanks.
for real.
Thanks, Dad.
It is a chance. It does happen during your lifetime.
Yeah, that's true. That's another thing I wanted to mention. I totally forgot about. I believe it was the first chapter of this book where the dad mentions that, or was it the mom? It might have been both of them. This is the daughter's senior year.
Yeah,
it was going to be the daughter's senior year in school.
This is
what the fuck.
This is unbelievably fucked up to do to your children. Genuinely,
I can't even. No, you're a bad parent. I'm sorry.
I truly think these are the worst parents in a Goosebumps book, and that includes the one where the dad was a fucking evil plant. I think this is the worst parents in a Goosebumps book.
But we gotta see if these deer will die in the swamp.
I want to watch these deer die, kids. So I'm sorry.
I need to film these deer's last moments. I need to see the light going out of their eyes.
Again, it's even worse in the show, but we'll get there. Grady and Emily find a nice pond. Emily digs it and wants to come back with her camera. But Grady, quote, isn't really into ponds. No.
It's not one of my hobbies.
Okay, yeah, no. Okay, Thoreau, let's write Walden. Grady freaks Emily out by claiming a small lizard is an alligator. So that's your scare for this chapter, I guess.
Pranked.
Emily wants to leave, but Grady's death drive is in high gear, and he runs deeper into the swamp. We find another, even grosser pond. Emily shouts, "It's quicksand," which I'm sure is true. Me reading this thought, yeah, definitely for sure quicksand.
Mm-hmm.
And someone, again, definitely not Emily, pushes Grady from behind. We assume, based on these two true facts, that Grady will die in the next chapter.
Yeah, what's he going to fill the rest of the book with when Grady is dead?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. He gets in quicksand and dies.
Yeah, I was thinking this part was like, oh, yeah, that's definitely going to be a psycho situation, you know? Like, you just kill off your protagonist and then have another one.
It turns out this is actually about Emily being a murderer, or a mysterious murderer that lives in the swamp. Chapter 3, a shocking, rare, older sister scare occurred. Turns out Emily was just being a jerk, and also it's not even quicksand, which can't even kill you in real life anyway. So take that lesson to heart, kids. You can't die in quicksand. It's a peat bog, which probably can kill you, actually. If I had to guess, a peat bog could actually kill you. It's more dangerous than quicksand. Emily reveals the secrets of peat, because she has learned about it in school, establishing her as a terrible know-it-all. Grady reminds us in one of the shittiest, most passive-aggressive sentences in all of Goosebumps that he gets straight A's in school and she gets B's, so who's the smart one now? You dumb bitch. Oh, you know about peat? You know what, peat bogs? Well, who's getting B's in high school? I get A's in 3rd grade. Fuck you.
Big actual child energy.
I'm in 5th grade. I'm getting A's. Fuck off, Emily. Truly a conflict for the ages. After absolutely bombing a snappy comeback, Emily says, "Why don't you take a drink and find out how it tastes?" And Grady goes, "I'm not thirsty." This is fucking nice, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even Grady was like, "Oh man, that sucked."
It sucked.
I didn't got him.
I did not get him. Grady decides that he's had enough of the bog. Emily begins to lead him back, but quickly we learn the limits of a straight B student. They are lost. Obviously, the B's certainly in geography.
I love bees are fine. Look, what's
Bees are
wrong?
fine. Bees are fine. Yes.
There's a bee.
There's a bee.
I mean, it's not like Grady's A's are helping any of, like, fuck.
For real.
And they start looking around. They're like, okay, remember that when you're lost, you go find moss. Moss grows on some side of the tree.
Yeah, chapter 4, they do not
Yeah.
know what side of the tree moss grows on.
Yeah.
They list all of them. They helpfully list all options,
All
except
possible
south.
sides.
The straight A student nailed it, but then the B student fucked him up.
I mean,
Maybe
and
it's the
there's a
north.
lesson there.
It could be the west or the east, though.
Yeah, he's like, it's the north. I think it's the east or the west. I don't know. Emily reveals in chapter 4, Emily reveals that she is literally the worst person to be in charge of anything, as she immediately has a complete nervous breakdown. Like, Emily is the kind of person who would kill you if you were like lost with them in a real situation.
Yeah.
She would like genuinely in a zombie apocalypse. Emily would get everyone killed. Guaranteed.
Also, yeah, guaranteed, absolutely. Also, just real quick, I
Yeah.
wanted to point out that
Yeah.
it is, this may seem ridiculous, but it is actually incredibly easy to get lost, even when you're like walking with a bunch of people on like a trail.
Oh, yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why people, I think it's one of the more common ways that people get lost is basically they're with a group, they're on a trail, then they need to go to the bathroom. So they walk off into the forest to go to take care of business, but then they get lost trying to come back. Y'all, do not stray too far away when you're going to the bathroom on a trail. It doesn't matter. Like, just go behind a tree, stay close. I've heard so many horrible stories of people getting lost for months and then, dying horrible fates because they just wandered too far off when they were going to the bathroom.
I mean, I think an important point to note, and maybe a thing that should have been put in the book, is kids and parents, don't let your kids go wandering in swamps on their own.
Yes.
It's a surefire way for them to die. Like, I don't even know what the thought process here was. Yeah, go explore the swamp.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking figure it out.
Here's the thought process. The dad wants the kids to die.
In the show, I get those vibes strongly.
The kids are the actual experiments. We're
Yeah,
here to see if
yeah.
kids will die in a swamp in Florida.
Yeah. That would have been a good twist.
I was frankly waiting for that twist.
That was actually a good twist. I was waiting for another twist, but we'll get there.
Feeding the alligators.
Chapter 4, Emily reveals so she's the worst person at lost. Grady, despite being more level-headed, decides to follow her, she is, despite her now being completely insane. Miraculously, they get back to the safety of the bog. When a jump scare happens, something grabs his ankle, Grady's ankle. Would you believe, spoilers, that it was actually nothing?
It's not nothing. It's a tree.
Yes, my first sentence here is, you will absolutely shit yourselves in shock when I tell you that the thing that grabbed Grady was a tree root.
Oh, fuck. I'd shit myself.
Demonstrating the lack of self-awareness only possible in a 16-year-old, Emily mocks Grady for panicking. But Grady is actually bleeding from this fall, which is more serious than most Goosebumps fake-outs. There are consequences here, I will say.
There is blood. And I must say, like, landing like that and immediately tasting blood.
Yeah.
And then talking about the blood, like, pouring down to your chin.
Yeah.
Dude, you got kind of fucked up there.
I mean, like...
For Goosebumps, yeah.
True of much of this book, it is more intense than most Goosebumps books are. Like, there are more intense consequences to things in this book than I think I have seen yet in Goosebumps.
I think there was, in Monster Blood, I think there was a pretty vicious beating from the twins.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, you're right.
But no, like, it's still up there with Monster Blood. So
pressing on, the two get more lost, but come upon a mysterious swamp shack. Against his better judgment, Grady attempts to call for help from a probable deranged swamp person. At the absence of a response, Grady decides to just open this random door.
What could possibly
What could go wrong? I don't know what that's like normal. When I find abandoned shacks in a swamp, I often think I should go in.
Yeah.
0% chance of old coot.
Suddenly, Chapter 6, the platonic ideal of a true Floridian bursts out of this swamp shack. He has black eyes. He has jagged teeth. He is wearing a Jimmy Buffett t-shirt.
Mario, are you saying that the swamp urbexing went bad?
Yes, it went wrong. A deranged Jimmy Buffett fan has found them.
See, in my mind, he's like an old prospector.
Okay.
But just translocated into a swamp.
So in my mind, he like opens the door and he's like, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. And
in my mind, he's like, the door opens and you just hear, no guts, no glory. And
no guts, no glory. Grady attempts to apologize, only to realize his truly shitty sister has already abandoned him. Which is hilarious. Like, this book is full of the worst people. Like, this is not even the last time this is gonna happen. That's the people abandon Grady to die at the hands of this deranged maniac.
Yes. Oh, so good.
He runs.
Emily just watches from the distance. Swamp prospector fucking bears down on her brother, and she's just like, oh.
Family of psychos. Yeah.
He runs after Emily, and the swamp man gives chase. Thoughts? This is a long chapter. Jesus, the next one's huge. Ooh. Despite the fact that nothing really happens.
You just described every
goosebumps.
Yeah.
Next chapter, the swamp hermit gives chase, but miraculously pursues them right back to a familiar area. I thought this was like R.L. Stine indicating the swamp hermit was actually trying to be helpful. I do not think that is the case. I think this is just a happy coincidence, but whatever.
I think it was one of them good old-fashioned plot cul-de-sacs.
Grady joins Emily, the coward, as he nearly collapses in run-induced pain. The kids return home. Emily swears off the swamp, and her parents briefly reflect on having ruined her life. This not even a joke. They literally say it's gonna be a hard year for her. Oh yeah,
evil.
Yeah, thanks, Mom and Dad, for ruining everything.
It's gonna be hard for you, but at least we'll learn whether or not deer die in a swamp that's different from the swamp they came from.
Yeah.
Brandon, there's scientists. Okay,
this is science.
This is for science. Okay,
we will also learn how a 16-year-old survives removed from all their friends.
I don't get it. Why would you do that? She literally 1 year.
Like, or just how about just let her stay with a relative for a year at that point?
Yeah, for real. But I just want to real quickly say that the reason that they said that it would be a hard year for her is because multiple times she is describing feeling itchy, and the bog made her feel like itchy scratchy, and feeling like something was going on with her skin, and it was like, it just had a weird texture to it. And so for me, that I was thinking like, and they were saying like, oh, she's going to have a hard year. I totally forgot the twist of this book. Spoilers, there isn't really one.
No,
kind of, sort of, but whatever. I thought it would be the sister. I thought it was Emily who was going to be the werewolf because of all of these little things that were happening.
Yeah.
Totally did not call that one. So
interesting. Yeah. I guess that would certainly have been a twist. It would also have been a twist if this was like a Resident Evil 7 scenario and they became a redneck torture family.
I was kind of waiting for that. Yeah. I was also thinking like maybe this is, I think R.L. Stine leaves a lot of stuff in the early chapters that he could use later if he wanted it to be the sister or something, or have the whole family be werewolves or something.
Yeah. I think you're probably right.
And like this is their puberty, is to turn into werewolves.
For some reason, I got the ending of this mixed up with the ending for The Girl Who Cried Monster.
Yeah.
And so I was kind of expecting the whole family, like you were saying, Brandon, to be werewolves. But then, and thinking about it now, like he already did that. Like,
well, spoilers, he's going to do it again. Like he's going to do it again.
Yeah.
I know one book for sure where he does that.
Yeah.
So, Dad reveals the Swamp Hermit is a harmless local character, despite direct evidence to the contrary. Over dinner,
Didn't he chase them?
He just chased some children. He's harmless. Don't worry about it.
Just chasing kids.
He's just a 70s dad where they were just like, yeah, go ahead, just stick your hand in the blades of the lawnmower, figure out what happens.
Oh my God.
Yeah, see, that's what happens when you stick your hand in the blades of a lawnmower. Now you don't need to be told. No, I'm not taking you to the hospital. You need to learn this lesson. It's a hard lesson.
It's a hard lesson. Your hand don't work no more. Well, that's too bad.
And I guess we'll find out.
You better pick up those fingers with the other hand.
That builds character.
And if the hermit's bad, we'll find out with you.
Yeah, that'll put some fuzz in your chewing gum. Put some fuzz in your chewing gum.
Fuzz on your chewing gum.
Over dinner, Dad reveals that the swamp is called Fever Swamp, a fact which seems impossible to only have just learned, but somehow he has no idea where the name comes from. Like, no idea whatsoever. After dinner, Grady is thinking about his friends back home when suddenly the Swamp Hermit, definitely for real the Swamp Hermit, grabs him from behind.
The Swamp Hermit found him.
If you can believe that. Unbelievable! It's not the Hermit.
What?
It's a suspiciously large boy.
My nickname in high school.
No joke. R.L. Stine spends a lot of time talking about like that this boy, Will Blake, is a big kid. He's built. This kid's built like a brick shit house.
Yeah. It spends a lot of time describing his neck.
He does. He's got a thick neck.
Thick-necked boy.
Yeah, this thick-necked child. He's big. He's got a gravelly voice, which I immediately thought, oh, it's from howling. This kid has been howling, and that's why he has a gravelly voice. They don't actually make that connection, but like it's my thought. I thought they were gonna be clever about it. And he can catch a ball in the dark. So figure that one out. Also, he negs Grady a bunch. Like, he starts negging a lot. He negs a lot of people in this book. For whatever reason. Grady decides they should be friends. Proof that negging works. He reveals the origin of Fever Swamp. Apparently, long ago, everyone who went into Fever Swamp got sick or went mad. Grady tells us... Emily's boyfriend is I've just written the word a goon and she sucks because Emily sucks because Grady has a friend and she doesn't. So cool. This is a cool little hey, by the way, I met this guy, he's super weird, but by the way, Emily, your boyfriend sucks and you've got no friends. Eat shit, I get A's.
Children say the darndest things.
Returning inside, Grady begins to develop a headache, and Mom says he has a fever.
Swamp fever.
In chapter 9, we learned that was where the flashback ended. So all of that was prelude to the howling that we heard in the first sentence of the book. All right, so somehow this is all a flashback. I am reeling. Grady's fever gets up to 101, which is a fever, and it refuses to break. He is concerned he will soon go mad with swamp fever. One night, he awakens from a nightmare to the sound of howling. He goes to wake his parents, but hears scratching at the kitchen door. Frightened, he goes to check it out. But he is not alone.
Santa Claus is there.
It's Santa Claus.
With presents. Oh, thank God.
Oh no, it's my final chapter.
Oh no.
Shock.
Who could it be? Surely there are other people in...
Yeah, no one else is in the house that could be in the kitchen at this time of night.
No, absolutely not. What time is it? 10?
Like, too late for anyone in this house. Shock. Gasp. It's Emily.
Oh.
Emily has also heard the howling and woken up.
What a relief.
She appears to have no clue that Grady has been sick and is confused as to why he looks weird.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe she's spent all day in her room. I don't know.
She's probably been quite sad, so maybe she's got bigger fish to fry.
Yeah.
She also heard the scratching. The two joke that it might be the deer, which is, of course, very funny. The notion that deer would scratch at a door. How funny. How very queer. The howls return. Emily believes it's a wolf, but those don't live in swamps. Or do they? It's impossible to know. She only gets bees. The scratching returns, and Grady decides to boldly open the door and find out what it is.
Is it a wolf? A king of the jungle? And that
Bob, you'll have to tell us.
I will tell you in my chapters. Hello, I have the middle chapters. It is I. Time to talk about chapter 11 through 20. Chapter 11, Grady opens the kitchen door, and just like the first half of a Goosebumps book, Nothing's there. For the second time in 2 pages, Grady thinks, who or what was that? Which is, I just want to point out, that's fucking egregious. Anyway, so Dr. Mr. Dad comes downstairs to investigate the commotion, and when Grady and Emily tell him about the howling, he says it's quote unquote fever dreams. Emily quickly points out that that's dumb because she heard the howling too and she's not sick, prompting Dr. Mr. Dad, the scientist, to use the scientific method and ignore her entirely. The kids are sent to bed, where Grady has a mercifully short dream before waking up the next morning. Grady feels much better and puts on his Raiders TM t-shirt, a team which he goes out of his way to say he is not a fan of. He just likes their colors. Okay? Don't get it twisted.
That's a unwarranted but totally little kid thing to say.
Yeah.
I need you to know the context. You got to know. I don't know who the Raiders are. I don't know what they're all about. Okay. I like the colors.
I don't know.
I like the pirate.
Listen,
He's cool.
Arlstein distancing himself from the Raiders in case they would get canceled.
It was Arlstein, not the kid. He's like, I want everybody to know. I don't support them. I don't support these pirates.
This was in case they got canceled. And
yeah, he predicted the move to Las Vegas. That was them, right? The Raiders that went to Las Vegas. No.
I have no idea.
I don't
Las
know.
Vegas. They moved. Let me see.
They went to Mars.
Las Vegas Raiders. Yep, they moved to the Las Vegas area. They were originally in Oakland, California, and then they moved to Las Vegas. Cancel them. Fuck them.
Yeah, for the longest time, there were like 5 teams that kept threatening to move to LA because they were trying to get the local government to pay for everything for a new stadium and yada, yada, yada. And I think like all at once, every single team moved to LA. They're like, fuck you, I guess we'll move to LA. And now LA has like 300 football teams. Don't look it up. That's all true.
Don't look it up. So Grady eats a bowl of Frosted Flakes TM, which he specifically notes are great. And as Grady opens the kitchen door to find Will and have a wonderful day of adventure, he is instantly murdered by the werewolf of Fever Swamp. The end.
End of the book. Short.
Yeah, pretty short. Oh, wait, there's another chapter 12. Never mind. It was just a huge dog that jumped on Grady. Everyone seems completely fine with this overt sign of aggression toward children from this random dog. So much so that despite some initial protests from Dr. Mr. Dad and Dr. Mrs. Mom, they eventually cave and let Grady keep him. They then call the dog Gentle, which I'll say again was not how this chapter started, and discover that he doesn't have any tags. Will comes over and says he's never seen the dog, which looks more like a wolf to him. Everyone then declares that he does actually look like a wolf, and Grady decides to name the dog Wolf, which I'm sure won't get confusing in any way throughout the course of this book.
Not confusing at all. Completely fine. Don't know why you would ever even mention that.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. We cut to later that day as Grady, Will, and Wolf the dog are in the swamp exploring. They decide to head to the bog because they can, quote, throw sticks in and stuff and watch them sink, which is the most 12-year-old thing I've ever heard in a Goosebumps book.
Yeah, very real. Extremely real.
Extremely,
yeah, so real.
That literally something that I probably have said as a child at one point. Will asks if the bog can suck you down into it like quicksand, and Grady replies, quote, my dad says there's no such thing as quicksand, unquote. Well, your dad's a stupid asshole moron, Grady. Quicksand does exist. It's just physically impossible for it to suck you down into it as depicted in popular media. But wait, crunching leaves coming from behind the boys. Someone or something is following them. Who or what?
Oh my God.
Could it be?
What could it be?
Will whispers, it's the swamp hermit.
It's the swamp hermit.
It's the swamp hermit.
And the chapter ends. It's the swamp hermit.
It's the swamp hermit.
It's the swamp hermit. Chapter 13, the boys scramble to hide from the entity. Will dives into a tall clump of weeds, but that was the only hiding spot in all of the swamp, so Grady just gives up and embraces death. But it turns out the thing chasing them was Wolf the dog, because of course it was the fucking dog.
Hard to imagine how that's possible.
No, it just boggles the mind. The mind reels. Wolf jumps on Grady, who then dominoes into Will as cartoon bonk and crash sound effects echo throughout the swamp as they fall to the ground. The gang gets up and Wolf takes off, seemingly knowing where he's going. Will says, maybe Wolf's a swamp dog. Grady replies, swamp dog? You mean the 70s country R&B singer formerly known as Little Jerry Williams who still makes music to this day? No, you idiot, replies Will sternly. Not the swamp dog, a swamp dog. Grady furrows his brow. Oh, you really think Wolf is a member of the PMC headed by Venom Snake that was created after Militaire Sans Frontières and Mother Base were destroyed? No, that's Diamond Dogs. You know what? Forget it, Will stated. The kids find the bog and start throwing sticks in as promised. But suddenly, Wolf the swamp dog lowers his head as if he senses danger.
No way.
Danger? In the swamp?
Swamp danger.
Swamp danger. This is the worst kind.
Chapter 14, subtitle Swamp Danger.
You know, a dog furrowing its brow in any location in Florida wouldn't surprise anyone. Is that a dinosaur coming to eat me? Or is that a man coming to eat me?
Chapter 14.
It happens in Florida more than you might think.
All the time. It is ridiculous. Chapter 14, subtitled Swamp Danger. The kids turn to see the swamp hermit and promptly hide from his view. He's got a brown sack over his shoulder and has what appears to be bloodstains on his shirt. Surely those can't be from an animal he killed and is planning to cook and eat for sustenance, since everyone knows swamp hermits only eat cans of Chef Boyardee. The boys start to head home, but are stopped in their tracks by ... Chapter 15, the fresh corpse of a heron. FYI, this is real animal gore, and it won't be the last for this book. Actually, it won't be the last for my chapters. Anyways, the boys conclude the swamp hermit did this, and that he's a monster for doing so. Okay.
Gotta eat.
My man's gotta eat.
You gotta eat. You can't eat beefaroni all the fucking time.
And sometimes that means you gotta dismember an animal.
Yeah, you gotta split it right down its midsection, I tell you what. But there are paw prints all around the heron corpse. But that doesn't necessarily mean a wolf or a dog did it. Whatever. Just real sloppy detective work going on here. Honestly, someone should get these kids a Phoenix Wrights game.
Gotta disagree with your detective work there.
Objection.
You gotta take an issue with your detective work there, Will.
I take an issue with your detective work. Kind of sloppy. Anyways, Will goes home. Grady says some dumb shit to his dad, who is also dumb, then takes Wolf the swamp dog to his room to sleep, but he doesn't sleep for long as there is a loud crashing sound coming from the kitchen. A burglar here to steal all of Dr. Mr. Dad's swamp deer secrets.
Probably. I mean, there's probably some espionage to go on, right?
Yeah.
Also, let's say right now, because you mentioned it, let's touch on it. There's a lot of dead animals in this book, and more than a little bit of time spent describing the way the animals are killed. And
yeah, there's one coming up that's it's legit.
One of these animals is literally split in half. So I think it's interesting because obviously R.L. Stine can't describe graphic person murder, although a person is murdered in this book.
Multiple people, I believe.
Yeah, multiple are murdered in the show for sure. In the show, at least 4 people die.
I believe 2 are mentioned missing in the book. I believe
one neighbor for sure is missing.
For sure, yeah.
Mr. Warner.
Yeah, Mr. Warner definitely is missing.
We'll mention him. So post haste.
There's one implied death of a human in this book. But there are, I feel like R.L. Stine, when you're writing a werewolf book, there's only so much you can do with it. Mm-hmm. And I'm not being critical of werewolves as a concept. I just mean that if you're writing a werewolf story, something's gonna have to die in it. That's the problem with werewolves, is they are, that's the key issue is their uncontrollable
killing
animal
machines,
predatory nature. They have a bloodlust that they are that the person has to grapple with, and
they are a representation that it happens a lot. It's like a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde situation where it's you're contrasting the docile humanity, sort of the civilized creature that we are, while also highlighting the where we came from and the sort of brutal sort of nature of man and how we got here, and these possible murderous tendencies that we see in society as well. Werewolves are really interesting. They're a fascinating concept. I do enjoy them.
They're an interesting literary device, and and you can also you can read into their existence as a folkloric creature. One, obviously there's a inherent subconscious idea there, but also from a practical perspective, you can read into them things of people at different times dealing with what we would now perceive as like serial killers, that kind of thing. Like this is the same way that that we perceive these concepts in stories, but also possibly in the real world, they were reacting to brutal murders and interpreting it as, well, that had to be an animal.
Yeah. That actually happens kind of in the inverse, where people will find horribly mutilated animals and they'll attribute it to someone like doing it. Like, I hear this theory a lot with cow mutilations.
Yeah,
where it's like someone like had to have like done this, like it must have been like aliens or something. Or
they attribute intent to it,
exactly,
where there wouldn't be. But like now we attribute intent to intentionless acts of violence that just occur in nature, whereas before they would remove intent from acts of violence that may have been intentional.
It's like the historical French countryside was terrorized by
the Beast of Gévaudan.
Yeah, the Beast of Gévaudan.
Which may have been a wolf or may have been a person.
Maybe both.
Maybe both.
Is that where the because I was talking to Rachel about this in the car. I was actually trying to get her on the podcast, but she declined. But she did mention that she has done a lot for a book that she was working on. She's done a lot of research on like werewolves. And she mentioned that I think that there was like, it might be what you're talking about, but like apparently werewolves were like subservient to witches and witches created werewolves.
Oh,
and that's kind of where that traces back? Or
so no, the thing we're talking about is I have not heard that, although I would believe it to be a cultural belief. I would say that I would buy that for $1. But no, this was a historical event in France where there was a series of violent mutilations of animals and people, and King of France actually sent people to like investigate the murder or these deaths, and also during that time, by the way, did not tell anyone to stop like working in. It was at a time when people were working in fields and like shepherding animals in fields and forests and stuff. So they were and the people doing it were usually young women and children, and as such they were quite vulnerable, and these were like the primary victims of this thing, which it took place in the Gévaudan region of France, and so it was called the Beast of Gévaudan. Eventually some hunters brought back a big old wolf and were like, this is the thing that did it. and they said, okay, I guess that's it, I guess the problem is solved.
And in 2001 they made a movie called Brotherhood of the Wolf based on it, which became the stylistic basis for Bloodborne, or one of them.
Yeah, Brotherhood of the Wolf is a pretty wild movie. I like it, but it's wild. Like, it's a French martial arts historical fiction.
Hell yeah! I still need to play Bloodborne.
You fucking should, man.
I know. Every time
good.
I say that, people are like, "What the fuck?" Like, I love Elden Ring. I need Bloodborne and Sekiro are on my list.
I have.
I need to play this.
I think I broke the end game timer in Bloodborne. I have like 1 billion characters.
You've played Bloodborne perhaps more than any other game.
Maybe.
I mean, like I know for like Brandon just replays Bloodborne
for fun.
Yeah, his brain has been rewired.
I got problems.
Yeah, his brain's been rewired, and there's just like a Bloodborne sensor in it, like, and it goes wild, like. But yeah, anyway, I think it's interesting that like, R.L. Stine obviously can't wantonly kill people like Stephen King did in Cycle of the Werewolf, where every story is about a townsperson getting murdered.
Right.
So instead, we have dead animals, like which is pretty heavy for a Goosebumps book. That's my main point.
But there needs to be stakes.
Yeah, there's got to be
stakes. A werewolf is only scary if it's killing stuff. That's what werewolves do.
Yeah,
exactly.
And I guess in that way, having the scientist with the deer is actually creates some kind of tension. Although it would have been more interesting to have like the dog maybe be a smaller dog and not one of the like in danger of the werewolf versus like possibly the werewolf. But I do like the drama that happens later of blaming the dog for the shit that's happening. So
blaming it on the dog.
Blaming it on the dog. Chapter 16. It was just Wolf the Swamp Dog again. See, there he is, Wolf the Swamp Dog.
Wolf the Swamp Dog.
Just doing all the ruckus. Someone really needs to teach this kid the difference between human footsteps and a dog's footsteps. Seriously, this is at least the second time this has happened, and it doesn't make any fucking sense. Anyway, Wolf really wants outside, so he's been slamming his whole body against the kitchen door and the windows. The whole family is up at this point, and Dr. Mr. Dad uses his sharp scientific mind to listen to his wife suggest opening the fucking front door so the dog can stop destroying their house. He complies, and Wolf bolts outside. The family decide to let Wolf stay on the condition that he sleeps outside from now on. Dr. Mrs. Mom says, maybe we can sleep in peace, but future Grady informs us that she is very wrong, and also time travel is real.
Fucked up. He didn't go back and kill Hitler.
No, yeah, it didn't.
Why didn't Grady kill Hitler?
Grady's a terrible person, worse than Hitler. Some might say.
Some might say that.
Yeah, if you're a time traveler,
I would argue
if you're a time traveler and you don't kill Hitler, that worse than Hitler.
Yeah, I think that's true.
Scientifically.
I mean, you've got all the time in the world. You don't have to do it first. I mean, you're gonna probably go see like if Jesus rode a dinosaur first, but
which he absolutely did. I think this is a by the way, this I just wanted to let everybody know this is a Christian podcast.
We are highly Christian. We do love Jesus and God and all that business.
We're actually specifically creationists, and the definitely people were riding around on dinosaurs. Flintstones is a documentary. Anyway, just wanted to make that clear. Moving forward, chapter 17. This entire chapter is just Grady hearing Wolf howling and wondering what it is, so he goes outside to investigate the end. Chapter 18. Upon investigation, he finds that what he previously thought were a pile of old rags was actually a rabbit that had been ripped in half. Neat. Anyway, the next morning, Grady brings his dad outside to show him the rabbit, and Emily meets him out there. To be annoying.
Yeah.
Quote, your dog's a killer, unquote, she says. Confused, Grady replies, so you're saying my dog's a member of one of the biggest rock bands of the 21st century, responsible for such hit songs as Mr. Brightside, somebody told me, and when you were young? No,
somebody
Grady.
told me that you had a werewolf.
No, Grady. That's the Killers, Emily said dejectedly. Anyway, everyone's concerned about Wolf the Swamp Dog now, which they should have been from moment one, but whatever.
Now, Bob, I'm gonna stop you right there because I'm Team Wolf all the way in this book.
He's Teen Wolf.
I'm Teen Wolf.
No, I don't want to imply that I'm not Teen Wolf. Teen Wolf.
Teen Wolf.
I am Teen Wolf.
I am Teen Wolf. We are Teen Wolf.
We are Teen Wolf.
We are all Teen Wolf. By our powers combined.
I want to get a picture of. I want to take the picture of the I'm Feeling Crafty Wolf costume sitting on the stone bench.
Yes.
Just put I'm Teen Wolf.
Yeah, perfect. Nailed it. Absolutely.
I'm Teen Wolf.
Me.
I just want to say this.
Yes.
If we assume Wolf killed this rabbit, he didn't. But if we assume he did, even if that's true, it's a fucking rabbit. He's a stray dog.
He's a dog.
He
loves bones.
Not a little dog.
Not only is he a dog, dogs notoriously will kill smaller things. It's what they do. He's also
when Grady's like, "There's no way that Wolf could have done this," it's like, Grady, please get
there's actually a lot of ways.
There are many, many, many ways.
But not only is he a dog, which will do this for no reason anyway, he is also literally a stray dog that has lived in the swamp perhaps his entire life.
Yeah.
Of course he could kill the rabbit.
Honestly, you should be grateful that he's not more aggressive towards you.
The fact that his family sucks. Just want to put this out there.
Yeah,
and they want to kill this dog so bad, but they want to have this dog put down desperately.
And we will get to the chapter where that is specifically discussed.
Specifically.
Right now, not so much. But
right now they are in the show, they are immediately jumped to time to kill this dog. In the book, they're like, well, I guess we'll see. But it's fine. It's actually first of all, it's not like it's your rabbit. It's not
right.
Your rabbit. It's just a rabbit. It's okay. Do I feel bad about it? I guess. But the fact that a swamp dog killed a wild animal is really not shocking at all. If you've owned a dog, I owned a bird dog for many years. It constantly killed birds. It's literally what it does genetically. It is
predisposed to murdering shit.
They should call it murder dog.
How do you think animals eat?
Yeah, it's also I also take umbrage with the fact that they were like, this animal wasn't killed, it was murdered. It's like, bruh, Do you know how the world works?
Two scientists are
yeah.
out here like they murdered this dog. They murdered this bunny. Okay,
Full
Dad.
criminal intent, full culpability, human evil.
I'm just imagining a chalk outline of the bunny.
Detectives are CSI comes.
Fucking
Dude,
tape.
every forest in America is just chalk outlines of the millions of dead animals.
Every 2 feet is a new chalk outline and police tape.
Yeah, also, Emily, you smashed a mosquito on your forehead earlier. You killed... That's going to be a chalk outline on your forehead.
Murderer.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Also, it's so fucking silly. But it also kind of highlights how naive the dad is, thinking that he's just going to bring these deer to the swamp and everything's going to go fine. He's just going to research it, and there's no way that any animal could possibly kill them.
I've got a quick prediction about how your experiment's going to go. Bad. Hey, it's a Florida Everglades. There are reptiles in there that exist to kill. They are put on Earth by God to do murders.
Thank you for saying that.
Yeah, thank you, and thanks Jesus.
Thank you God.
Hey, I want to take to thank Jesus and God for making lizards that are designed just to do murders. I really appreciate it. Thanks a bunch.
Thank you for keeping dinosaurs in the swamp.
Yeah.
Even today.
Exactly. And you know what? This just goes to serve, as soon as those swamp deer are let out and they're immediately killed.
Instant death.
Just instantly. And they're dead. That's God's will.
I'll tell you what. It's a cool experiment. You will find out where all the gators are, and it's gonna be like a cool instant map of where gators are located.
Oh yeah.
Gator. Okay, all right. So there's 9 gators.
They formed a 10-foot perimeter around our house. They're getting pretty smart.
Also a really good way to track where alligators poop.
Yeah.
Wolf the Swamp Dog, which they should have. So look, the reason I say that they should have been wary of Wolf the Swamp Dog from moment one is all of the things that we have just talked about do not preclude a child being mauled to death and eaten by a swamp dog.
True.
And I think that if I were a parent, and a scientific parent no less, which we can all agree is just against God.
Right.
So science is ungodly. So the moment that my child opened a door and a dog leapt on them, especially when you consider what happens in the show, but we'll get to that.
Yeah.
I'd grab my clipboard and observe it under test conditions. He's disemboweling my son.
Interesting.
Wow.
Interesting.
Vivisected my child. Grady, talk to me while you were moments away from death's grasp. Okay. I love dogs. Don't get me wrong. But the moment that a dog exhibits that kind of behavior toward a child, that's a fucking problem. Okay? That's a problem. Anyway, so they should have just been cautious about this problematic behavior from the swamp dog. Anyways, so that's what I mean when I say that. I'm a dog person. I'm an animal person. I love animals. They're great. And
are you a werewolf?
I'm a were-dog. He's a were-dog, actually.
Yeah, I'm actually. Yeah.
Where's the dog?
Yeah. I'm a wear. I'm a wear ferret. I'm a wear it.
I'm gonna wear a t-shirt.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we're getting a little loopy. All right. Praise God. Which they should have met the moment, but Wolf the Swamp Dog. Okay. The chapter ends with Grady failing to read the mind of Wolf the Swamp Dog.
Sucks.
Rip.
Skill
God,
issue, really.
Honestly. Yeah, straight A's.
Straight A's? Yeah, more like fucking can't read dogs' minds.
Useless.
Oh yeah, Grady? Straight A's? I get straight S's. Fuck you, piece of shit.
I get straight SSS's.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm
super smoking sexy style.
Oh my God.
We both went to the exact same place.
The only grading system that matters.
Mm-hmm.
Devil May Cry.
Just the Devil May Cry music playing in the background.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's so good. Anyways, how did that game come from Resident Evil? Anyway, chapter 19. It's the next morning, and Will has dropped by to tell us that Ed Warner has gone missing. Who is Ed Warner? Well, I'm here to inform you, dear listener, that Ed Warner is, in fact, some guy in the neighborhood.
Yep.
Apparently, Will went wild turkey hunting with him at one point, which Grady thinks is gross. Grady, where do you think food comes from? Oh, wait, Will specifically says that Ed Warner hunts turkeys for trophies and hangs them in his house. Yeah, I'm with Will here. That's fucking weird. I'm glad he's dead. Maybe the werewolf got him, says a voice from behind the boys, who definitely isn't a character that was previously mentioned in the book and has only now showed up in the final third.
Can we take one quick second to talk about the fact that twice in this book, Will has shown up wearing Lycra?
I did not realize
He wears
that.
Lycra twice. He wears Lycra shorts twice in this book.
Incredible.
Do
Just
children know
fantastic.
what Lycra is? Like, does a child...
The old child R.L. Stein knows what Lycra is.
I don't even know if I know what Lycra
I
is.
think it's they make aircraft carriers out of them.
Oh, it's spandex.
Yeah.
Oh, do you think he's wearing Lycra shorts? Spoilers, because when he transforms into a werewolf, it stretches.
Uh-huh.
Is that supposed to be like a hint?
I don't know. I don't know.
That's way too much of a deep cut.
In the same way that his hoarse voice, I thought, could have been a hint.
I'll follow you with the horse voice. I don't know about the Lycra.
I don't know.
No, it'd be a dog voice,
Bark, bark.
Ain't you talking a Scooby-Doo voice?
not a horse voice.
Oh,
Which is a
fuck off.
werehorse.
God damn it, Brandon.
Werehorse, bring it on.
Werehorse. Over there's horse.
Oh, you don't fucking steal my... God damn it, you stole my joke.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know you were going to do it. Sorry.
Unsteal it. Give it back.
Give me it back.
Okay.
Chapter 20. Why, yes, it's Cassie O'Rourke, here to finally be the first person to say werewolf out loud in this book. My dog is just over there, says Grady. What? Says Cassie, confused. Grady turns to her. Well, you said werewolf, and I'm just telling you that my dog, whose name is Wolf, is just over there in my yard. The sound of a studio audience dying with laughter is heard. Then Cassie gut punches Will for no reason, and the trio head into the swamp to throw more sticks into the bog. Sick. Suddenly, Cassie becomes terrified and whispers, werewolf. She points into the distance, and to Grady's horror, she's pointing at Wolf. Yeah, Cassie, says Grady. They're Wolf. The kids clasp their ears as the laughter of the studio audience becomes too loud to bear. And I'm out.
End.
Fin.
End of another beautiful chapter.
All done.
Yay.
All done.
All done. I wonder who has the final chapters.
Those are Mario's chapters again.
Oh, man, you had to do that again? Wow. Condolences, dude.
All right.
He gave me, for Christmas, a get out of reading free once. 10 free chapters from any
Christmas, my
Goosebumps
true
book.
love gave to me.
And I cashed it in.
Not reading Goosebumps.
Yeah. So, chapter 21. Wolf the dog couldn't be the werewolf. Is Grady's good boy really be a bad boy? Will we ever have closure again? Will Wolf to be where the werewolf be?
Hold on, I'm having a seizure.
Brandon has cleverly written down the exact transcript of a conversation we had.
Incredible.
Yeah, I had to write it down and then not read it because I couldn't. I was getting brain bubbles reading it.
He just began saying this to me at one point.
This is exactly the same shit as if I why is it called oven if you oven in the cold food and have hot the food?
Yeah.
Like, it does the same thing to my brain.
Why is it called werewolf if you wolf in the were?
Yeah.
If the wear out the wolf
We're out with the wolf in the wolf dog.
But dog, wolf, the wolf dog.
Hey, why is it called Sonic the Werehog? Why does Sonic the Hedgehog turn into a werehog? That doesn't make any fucking sense.
Where's his hog?
Where's his hog?
Where's the Sonic Hog? We need the Sonic Hog, the werehog.
And we've gone insane. We've reached a point in the podcast where we've gone insane.
It's like taking candy from a werehog, which is fine by me.
For the rest of these 10 chapters, please picture me reading this with the UK cover boy face on it. Just one smirk, one eyebrow raised constantly. Yeah. But no, Cassie wasn't pointing at the dog Wolf. She was pointing at the swamp hermit who was walking nearby. He was carrying something, a wild turkey, over his shoulder. Grady briefly wondered if the hermit hadn't murdered Mr. Warner and stolen a turkey from him. This is a common crime in Orlando.
I believe that.
Cassie loudly shouted, "It's the werewolf," pointing at the hermit. Will warned Cassie to shut up, and up she did shut, but not before the gang heard the rustling sounds drawing near. Will shouted for the group to run, but the hermit was upon them. He burst out of the weeds and screamed, "I'm the werewolf!" An obviously true admission of guilt. No need to read any farther into this book. The hermit's eyes were wild and excited. His bright red face was surrounded by long tangled hair, just like the werewolves are said to be by those who say what werewolves are like. The kids bolted, and the hermit followed, howling with laughter, swinging the turkey, howling like a wolf. The dog Wolf left his spot in the bog and bounded towards this group of nincompoops. Grady slipped in the mud as the hermit gained. He felt his feet pulled out from under him. He was fucked. The werewolf, who is really the hermit, has really got him. This is clearly the end of the story. Rip Grady.
R.I.P. Yeah.
That was a fever dream of a summary of a chapter. that was a feverish summary.
Yeah, I feel hot.
I do. I'm fucking fanning myself right now.
Also, can we just collectively agree that when this the swamp hermit prospector guy is running after them,
I'm
he's
a werewolf.
laughing
Like,
I'm a werewolf.
Hey, he's a harmless old coot. No worries.
I'm an harmless old coot.
I'm harmless. It'd be great
I'm the werewolf. I'm the werewolf.
Brandishing a turkey.
As all Florida men do from time to time, he chased some children around in a bog.
Yeah, this is normal for Florida, man.
Shout out to Florida.
You kiss two fingers and point them up at the sky. Shout out to Florida, man.
Honestly, just a newspaper article from the Florida Times where it's like, Florida man chases local children at swamp.
It literally could be, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Florida man actually werewolf.
Florida
Yeah,
man werewolf.
there must be.
Doctor, Florida man Austin Haroof believed he was half dog, half man in face-biting double homicide.
Well,
Cannibal frat boy. Jesus Christ.
I can't be surprised by any of the headlines, though. That's the problem.
Things
It's like,
went downhill after 93.
yeah, it's like Florida man discovers portal to Ireland, uses it to film 9/11. I don't really get exactly what they're saying, but I don't doubt it.
I don't doubt it.
Okay, I did Florida man swamp hermit chases child, and all of my results are just goosebumps. It's just
Well,
all right. Well,
Here's the original Florida man,
yeah.
the OG. Chapter 22. But no one had got Grady. The hermit had stopped several yards away. The hermit said, "Go on, just teasing you." Wolf the dog appeared. The hermit asked whether Wolf the dog was the boy's dog, to which the boy replied in the affirmative. The hermit told Grady to watch out for him, and Grady asked what he meant. The hermit disappeared into the weeds like Homer into shrubbery. Darmok and Jalad. Grady accuses Wolf of being a coward. This sentiment met with the reception that it deserved, and Wolf ignored Grady. They headed home. Then Grady stepped on a snake that bit him. Grady fell to the ground, clearly dead. Rip Grady.
Wow, the book's over again.
Yeah, it just keeps ending.
Just keeps happening.
I'm getting jerked around in this fucking book.
R.L. Stein, quit jerking me.
Yeah, you keep doing that. You, Stein, cut it out. Stop it.
You...
That's actually a nightmare I had. I was getting a hand job, and then I looked down, and it's R.L. Stein looking up at me going,
Hi, Bob.
Holy
R.L.
shit.
I'm R.L. Stein.
That, okay. Okay.
I don't know if I'm including that.
Well, that's about it for the
not true.
podcast.
That is not true. I
That's
did not.
about it for the podcast, folks. I think we're going to wrap it up.
I don't know what it means.
I think we're going to wrap it up here.
In the cold food, out hot, eat the werewolf.
Woo.
Bob, did you know what was in that cup?
Time is a flat circle.
Oh, werewolf.
Liz is there. She is standing. She's looking at you. She's about to speak.
Oh my God.
By the way, I looked it up. The anniversary of the Dog Cup comic is May 30th. Celebrate. To all those who celebrate John drinking the cum. It's coming up.
Happy John Drinks Cum Day to everybody
Happy
celebrate.
John Drinks Cum Day.
We have to celebrate by not doing that.
Wait-
we have to
wait a
celebrate
minute.
some other way.
Wait. When does the new Garfield movie come out? Does it come out on Garfield?
A week early. Yeah, I know. I looked it up.
They really missed a fucking golden opportunity with that one.
I've heard it's a puss pounding good time.
Oh my God. Yeah.
All right. I wasn't going to do this, but now I will. Something happened yesterday. I saw that before you pushed it to Discord, Mario.
Yeah.
And I sent a message to Ashley, who is Rachel's sister, and here it is. Ashley, I just came out of the bathroom. I was reading the phone, and I saw that a reviewer said something amazing about the Garfield movie, the new Garfield movie. And so I came out and I was like, hey, Rachel, a reviewer reviewed the new Garfield movie. And he said that it was a, quote, puss-pounding great time, unquote. And Rachel said, what the fuck? There's a new Garfield movie?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
They should just lean into it for the marketing.
Yeah, they should.
This puss gets pounded.
They should.
Garfield.
Just get your puss pounded at the
Garfield's here.
I'm not going to tell you what they made the custom popcorn bucket into.
Woo!
Let's just say that it's got some orange fingers on it, and one of those fingers has a wedding ring on it.
Great.
All right.
Great.
Garfsy.
Garfsy.
Oh my God. A goatsy popcorn bucket with Garfield's smug face on the other side.
All right. I don't like to do this, but we need fan art right now.
Garfsy. We need Garfsy.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, this is bad.
Back to something less exciting. Chapter 23. Grady hit the ground and curled into a ball, pain throbbing through his body. By the way, he was just bit by a snake. We're returning to Wolf the dog began licking his hand, and Grady recovered enough to limp home. Grady wondered if the snake venom was causing his chest to feel tight instead of him just panicking, or if he was being a little bitch. I don't know, getting bit by a snake, that's fine. You can panic for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable.
Yeah. If I got bit by a snake, I would be like, what the oh,
I'd be like, oh,
fuck.
shit.
I really got to get home. I got to get someone else to... Yeah. No, I totally get it.
Yeah, I'm not invalidating Grady's pain. That's fucked up. The two reached a clearing and caught up with the other children. Grady told them to get his dad and pulled off his shoe to examine the bite. His foot was a little swollen. The dad approached, asking what happened. Cassie told the dad Grady was bit by a werewolf. Cassie, shut the fuck up! Dad instructed Grady to keep an ice pack on the bite. Green snakes aren't poisonous, his dad told him, being wrong in two ways. What his dad actually meant, dear listener, is that green snakes aren't venomous, and he's obviously not familiar with the green mamba, which isn't in Florida or in America. But you know, some wildlife expert he turned out to be.
As a scientist, it's a bad thing to be wrong about.
Yeah, that'd be wrong twice in the same sentence. About something that you're expert in. Bad dad.
Bad
Egad,
dad.
Egad, bad dad.
Egad, bad dad. Those deer are fucked. Those deer are fucked.
Those deer are dead already.
They're even deader than deer usually end up being. I mean, they were going to die someday of old age, maybe in a nursing home, surrounded by loved ones, but probably not. They're going to be in the belly of an alligator for sure.
Surrounded by deer ones.
Yeah. Deer ones.
Fuck you.
Grady described the stupid events of the afternoon. Grady asked his parents if they believe in werewolves, and Dad replied they have too smart of science brains to believe in such superstitious things. A sarcastic back and forth ensues, with Grady insisting that the weird howling at night must mean something. Emily joined in the bad conversation, insisting that the dog wolf is a werewolf. Grady said, through clenched teeth, I really would like to be taken seriously. Grady, my boy, being taken seriously has to be earned.
Grady, my boy.
Grady, my boy.
What a sad sentence. I really would like to be taken seriously. What a very sad sentence.
I feel like a lot of the reason I liked Goosebumps, and especially this one, is not only for me it was partly because of the depiction of being sick and then having like all this bullshit happen to you while you're sick, which is just oof. Being sick, horrible, and then having people like seeing weird shit while you're sick is fucked up. Anyways, but also just one of the reasons that I like Goosebumps is just because the way that it kind of leans into the kids and is like, kids, like, yeah, sometimes your parents are shit. Sometimes they don't listen to you, and sometimes you're right. Sometimes you're right. Like, sometimes you know more than your fucking parents, and your parents aren't always like fucking on it anyway.
Yeah.
Sometimes they just respond by gaslighting you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Swamp gaslighting you. Anyway.
Yeah. The dad says that the moon will only be full for 2 more nights. The wolf will be full the next time he finds you.
Nice. Nice save.
So they'll know. What's that?
Nice save.
Yes. The wolf will be full of deer. Okay. Yeah, it'll be full of deer.
Nailed it.
So they'll know if it was a werewolf if the howling stops in 3 nights. He chuckled, sterling logic. We had no idea that something was about to happen that night that might change his opinion about werewolves forever.
Except that doesn't happen, though.
No.
Future Grady.
Grady in the future.
At once wrongly, dramatically, and dumbly.
Like, it's a good ender, I guess, but, like, that doesn't happen.
There is such a natural end for this book. And the fact that it does not happen, it's just weird to me. Anyway.
Should be a werewolf, like, using a toothpick on his teeth, and, like, Grady's shoe falls out.
It should be a werewolf going to Disneyland. Disney World. Disneyland?
Yeah, true. Yeah.
World. Disney World.
Don't ask me. I don't know.
No, it should be a Disney World going to California Adventure. Why? Don't ask.
Disneyland. Chapter 24. The dad's arms exploded in dog hair. Grah, I'm the werewolf, he shouted, and plunged his teeth into Grady, who screamed. He lifted Grady into the air by his teeth and shook him violently like a sack of bread, tearing his flesh and organs into ribbons. Oh my God, Grady shouted. Something just happened that changed my opinion about werewolves forever.
That would, wouldn't it, though?
Yeah, it would. Yeah, I believe in them now. Yeah, I have firsthand experience. And his dad's like, no, it's not scientific, he says, tearing him into little pieces and eating him. No, instead, Cassie, Will, and Grady got into an argument about werewolves and whether it is a party foul to accuse someone of being a werewolf. Grady suggested they play some Nintendo, and Cassie responded by mentioning that Mr. Warner was probably murdered. The children accused each other of being various old movie monsters. They really should have played Nintendo instead. That night, Grady couldn't sleep. When the howling began again, Grady peered out his window without seeing anything. He pulled on jeans and flip-flops to investigate outside. Hearing a thud nearby, he ran out the back door. Hot, wet Florida air pushed him back. The wind is trying to keep me inside, Grady thought. The wind is trying to do me a solid by saving me from danger that I'm going to expose myself into anyway. Normal thoughts. Grady walked outside. The wind swirled around him. Nothing was there. After a pause, he turned back home. Then he uttered a shocked cry when he saw that the werewolf had murdered again. Do werewolves have the mental capacity to do murder? They're essentially animals, right? Most depictions of werewolves have them behave basically as violent animals. So, dog murder. Can they do it? Can a dog form the culpability to commit murder? Can it have the mens rea or dog's rea of killing? I think we as a society need to develop a firm stance on whether dogs can be convicted of murder, if they should be able to vote.
Would it be wolf mens rea?
Wolf mens rea, probably, yeah. I think so.
Well, dogs can be convicted as tools, like of murder.
I mean,
like a tool used to murder somebody.
Yeah, I mean, in an episode of Murder, She Wrote, a dog does commit murder. So,
but does it have the culpability? Can it form the intent? Can a dog go almost?
So here's the other thing about that particular episode of Murder, She Wrote is that the dog is set up as the inheritor of a will. So they're trying to prove that the dog committed murder, so that it can't receive the contents of the will.
Can we maybe we should pause this episode and go watch that and finish our description with the end of the episode of Murder, She Wrote. In a better world we'd do that, but we've got a job to do here. Chapter 25. Something had ripped a hole in the deer pen and killed one of the deer. No, sorry. Grady specifies that the deer has been murdered, not killed. Grady called for his parents. The parents arrived and immediately accused Wolf the dog of being the deer murderer. Grady and the parents, both utterly without proof, argued about whether this was true. Dad sentences Wolf the dog to death by lethal injection. Grady cried that the swamp hermit is a werewolf and killed the deer. The two agreed to discuss it in the morning. Anyone who had a childhood pet can identify with Grady in this situation.
Yep.
Parents just always lean towards murdering a beloved pet the first time any nearby animal becomes mysteriously eviscerated. The world is so unfair.
That's true.
Unhinged parent reaction here. Like,
who ate my ice cream? The dog.
It's like, do you guys really think that this dog dismantled your deer shed? And then murdered a deer?
Just absolutely unhinged. And I mean that as a pun. But also, yes, what the fuck? This happens in the show too. What? You have completely unrealistic expectations of what a dog is physically capable of.
Yeah,
they're like, we found his paw prints. Well, yeah, like an outside dog is not going to go smell a dead body.
Oh shit!
Nearby.
You found dog prints outside
where the dog lives? No fucking way.
It's so fucking dumb.
The dog has not yet killed the deer. The dog has been here for like a week. the dog wouldn't be lying in wait for the moment to kill. Like, what's the best night to kill these deer? Like,
He was a murderer.
also, I just don't even think this dog is capable of killing a deer. I just don't believe that.
Okay, so I was gonna mention this earlier. Like the dog,
Yeah.
Wolf the dog.
Yeah.
What kind of dog is it?
Big.
They say that he's
Wolf
part
dog.
shepherd and he's big.
Yeah.
Is that it?
I guess so.
Like shepherds are big, but they're not like Newfoundlands. You know, they're not.
No, that's like, it's like in the show when they're describing this dog's huge. It's a pretty average sized dog, actually.
It's
almost like a dog.
I would consider the dog in the show a mid-sized dog.
Yeah.
Like
If it's a fucking Irish wolfhound, okay, that's a big dog. It's if a Tibetan Mastiff, it's a big dog. I'd buy that thing to kill a deer. But like this dog that's just like a medium-sized house dog is not killing a deer. Like,
no.
The next morning, Grady sees that Wolf the dog has not yet been taken to his death. The dad told Grady that people in town were upset because a lot of animals had been killed this week. In Florida? Never. He said Ed Warner had also disappeared and that the townsfolk have heard howling. You talked a lot to the general townsfolk, Dad.
Dad's like going around town. I'd like to kill my son's dog. What reasons do we have?
There's 300 people in Florida standing around a single water cooler in the middle of town, and his dad asked all of them, and in a chorus, they in unison respond, "We are worried about the fact that Mr. Warner has disappeared. He was part of the collective, and we feel weaker without him."
It is possible the dog did it.
We think you should kill your dog.
Think that the dog did
Kill
it.
the dog.
The dog. Murder. The dog. No, kill the dog. The dog did murder. The dog is the one with the culpability.
But we're the ones, we have intent to kill the dog. Isn't that murder?
They melt.
We have been talking about it with ourselves.
They begin to melt.
Maybe we need to stop asking questions out and ask questions in because if we
in the
ask
micro-
question in the out, the dog, their head just starts smoking.
I just had a vision. I've had a vision of if it were Wolf the dog as the killer, and this is like a slasher version of Air Bud.
Oh, that's sick. That's a cool idea.
It is, isn't it?
That's rad. Oh, it'd be like Until Dawn, but then like where it shifts like the style, like right in the middle of it. That'd be sick.
I'm just imagining him holding a knife in the same way. You remember on Conan when they had the dog with the gun? So like it's like a dog and then a knife like comes up and
That was such a good fucking. Oh my god!
Great
such
joke.
A good joke.
Great joke.
Such a good joke. Anyway,
Darn, go on.
This whole time I'm trying to think of the Air Bud. What would the subtitle be for if he was a murderer? Air Bud goes.
So
he gets too
what are the
big,
subtitles of Air
RJ.
Bud? So it's like Air Buddies. All right, I'm looking up Air Bud movies. Let's see. Air Bud series. Yeah.
Air Bodies.
Air Bud Golden Receiver. Oh man. World Pup 7th inning fetch. Spikes back. Air Buddies, Snow Buddies, Space Buddies, Santa Buddies, Spooky Buddies. Right,
so
that's just the
tagline on the poster for Air Bud Golden Receiver 1998, which you can buy from originalfilmart.com for $30, is the Timberwolves are about to unleash their secret weapon.
A gun.
A gun. Okay.
Wait a minute. Is it against the rules if the dog shoots somebody in the middle of a game?
Great.
Dogs can't do murder.
The
Dogs can't do intent.
Dogs can't do murder. The tagline for Air Bud's 7th inning fetch, made in 2002, is he's a natural baseball player with major league talent.
What?
The tagline for for this poster for Air Bud that I'm looking at, which looks to be French, but I assumed originally was just the American poster for Air Bud and that the tagline was just this. The tagline here is "Buddy, Stardust Paniers."
I just got the mental image because the second Air Bud movie, Air Bud Golden Receiver, is is just Air Bud in a football uniform with a helmet. I just got the idea. Like, okay. I just got the mental image of Air Bud being sacked. I can't stop.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God.
I got it.
No.
The tagline on this poster for Air Bud was he sits, he stays, he shoots, he scores. So you would actually, for the slasher version, you'd have to say he sits, he slays, he shoots, he scores, right?
Yeah.
And then, oh my god! And then below the title it says the dog is in the house, and you don't even you can't even change that at all. That's already threatening.
The
dog is coming from inside the house.
The dog is coming from yes.
The bark is coming. No. The dog is inside the house.
The dog is inside the house. Honestly, they could remove They should remove the he sits, he stays part, right? It's just Air Bud, and then the caption is the dog is inside the house.
Look, I will fully sign off on this idea if you have one scene where briefly a man in a dog costume punches somebody.
Yeah. Oh my god, of course you do. Here's a great one. Here's a great one to think that this is the American cover, but not realize. Vuelve, buddy, esta vez es el crack de la liga.
Fantastic.
Vuelve, buddy, esta
I-
vez es el crack.
I can't not see Air Bud with a football and not think of a bunch of huge men smashing him into the ground.
Okay,
Yeah, he just looks like he's about to get beamed in the face by that.
the tagline for this is
Hits him in the face.
let's just be clear, the tagline for this is Buddy returns, and this time he's the crack of the league. What does that mean? What does that mean?
What does that mean?
This time the ass crack. Yeah, buddy.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. This is horrible.
Plays soccer. What the fuck?
You don't even need to change anything.
Oh my god.
He's got shoes on his paws.
Jesus
Oh my God.
Christ.
I think we've answered the question of where would a dog wear shoes.
That is a murder dog.
That's a murder dog.
right there.
That's
That
scarier
is-
than any Goosebumps cover. Holy shit.
There is an illustrated cover for Air Bud in some Spanish language version where the dog has human proportions, wildly different sized arms, and the face of a killer.
I mean, the eyes of a with bloodlust in the eyes. I mean,
Completely
like
wide open.
The subtitle for this is you think you're scared. You wouldn't know terrier.
God damn it.
Also, Matt Choke on the sneakers there. Matt Choke's face is on the sneakers.
I'm just putting this picture here because it's
What?
bad. Look
Oh
at it.
yeah, that is kind of yeah. That one's bad. World Pup sucks. Anyway.
Anyway, sorry,
We
Brandon.
cannot
Yeah,
get. Is there a clip in Airbud Golden Receiver where this dog gets fucking sacked? I the visual of that. It's playing on loop in my brain now.
It would be good to see.
We see, like, this is the problem. By chapter 25, we're all really kind of bored with the book, and we're thinking of much more interesting things that could be happening to a dog or being done by a dog.
Well,
but
Brandon, why don't you
I'll-
hit us with what's being done by a werewolf?
Real quick, I just want to point out that the entire Airbud Golden Receiver movie is on YouTube
Uh-huh.
for free.
Yeah.
And the channel is Airbud TV, and they are verified. So
Huh. Okay.
It's the official, the real Air Bud.
what? There's a horse on the wait.
Air horse.
can't be branching out.
Horse
There's a
ball.
horse in this, yeah. And now there's a monkey. What the fuck is going on?
They're doing a crossover with the Budweiser Clydesdale.
We can't get in the weeds on this one.
Oh,
We will
can't.
be on Airbud TV for the next 6 hours.
Oh my god, they're brewing beer together. The Clydesdale and the dog are brewing beer.
Incredible.
They're getting shitty with each other. They're arguing about ownership. Oh, they're going bankrupt.
What is this movie?
Brandon, tell us about the werewolf book. You've got to tell us about the werewolf book. You got to do it.
Chapter 25, everyone dies.
What is this fucking movie?
I'm joking.
You've got to tell us about the werewolf.
The next morning, Grady sees that Wolf the dog has not been taken to his death. We already did this part.
Yeah.
Grady asked if the dad was taking Wolf away to die, and his dad nodded because the townspeople said that lots of things have died and Ed Warner disappeared. The dog's paw prints were outside the pen after all. Dogs never walk near dead things ever.
No,
they never
never.
smell anything.
Or
they
a
never are in
cage full of
places.
live animals. Dogs would have no interest in that.
No.
Anytime a dog's paw prints or something are near something, you can assume that they resulted in that thing's death. Dog paw prints near a piece of bread. The dog created the bread. The dog made the bread. That's what happened. Open and shut case. Caught him red paw. Grady protested, but the dad said he couldn't take any more chances. Dad, you couldn't take more chances if you were trying. Yeah, go into the swamp, kid. Go meet the old coot that you saw while other things are being killed around you. No, we got to kill this fucking dog, though. Better kill the rest of the family, too, just to be sure.
Which, by the way, I just want to point out, the townsfolk gave a lot of really helpful information to the dad, but apparently no one knows the name of the swamp hermit. They just don't
No.
call him the swamp hermit.
Yeah.
The swamp hermit.
Kind of rude, but whatever.
Kind of rude.
Learn a hermit's name. Jeez.
For real. Just as anyone asked him.
Grady ran out the door, the dad following behind, lusting for dog murder. I love to kill dogs. I love to kill dogs.
To
Grady
kill
shoved
dog.
Yeah. Grady shoved Wolf the dog and told him to run. Chapter 26. Wolf the dog escaped the clutches of the vile dad, who can think only of dog murder. The dad declared that when Wolf the dog returns, he will execute that dog forthwith, and Grady silently prayed for Wolf the dog not to return. Later that night, the howling began again. Grady peered out the window and saw Wolf the dog in the backyard, growling at the sky. Grady pulled on clothes and went outside. Seeing Wolf disappear into the swamp, Grady followed, but suddenly noticed footsteps coming after him. Chapter 27. It was Will, wearing a dark sweatshirt over black jeans. The two agreed to follow Wolf into the woods. Grady told Will about Wolf the dog's conviction for deer murder. Eventually, they lost sight of Wolf. Before long, Grady also lost sight of Will. Now he was alone in the swamp, hearing various and sundry bog sounds. Grady was suddenly bathed in the pale light of a full moon. A structure came into view ahead, and Grady realized it was the hermit's shack. The howling resumed, and Grady was convinced that the swamp hermit definitely was the werewolf, and not some sort of red herring. Grady turned to run, but then the werewolf, the actual werewolf, jumped Grady from behind a tree and shoved him to the ground. For real!
Whoa.
No way.
That's right. We're 3 chapters from the end of this bitch. The werewolf has to show up now.
It's always the last few chapters.
It really is.
It's oh my god. Also, I just want to quickly point out all swamp roads lead to Swamp Hermit.
What swamp hut?
Whenever these kids get lost, they
always
make their way to
get
that
there.
hut.
Yeah, Swamp Acre, and inside is gosh, what's that guy's name with a v?
Vink?
Dr.
Yeah,
Vink
Dr. Vink.
with a v.
Guess you could say I kind of died.
I kind of died. One day we'll talk
Such a
about Arkham
good
in the Dark. One day we'll.
One day.
One day. Chapter 28. And yes, it's not a fake out. It's the actual for real werewolf. Fuck! Its dark eyes glared out at Grady from a human face covered in wolf fur. It howled in rage.
Kind of a Lon Chaney werewolf, I'm guessing, in this.
Yeah. That's probably what he was thinking.
I think that's what he's thinking, a classic Universal werewolf.
Yeah.
I just can we let Grady say fuck?
Let him say fuck.
Let Grady
Let
say
him say
fuck.
fuck.
Petition
Come on.
R.L. Stein reissue this book.
He just got jumped by a werewolf.
Let him
say
play. Let him play.
Let him play.
Let the dog play football. Of the werewolf, it is said, its dark eyes glared out at Grady from a human face, a haze for short, covered in wolf fur. It howled in rage, its animal snout opening wide to reveal 2 gleaming rows of wolf fangs, and somehow Grady could tell that the werewolf was Will. Will the werewolf. Where Will? What does Where Will the werewolf want to do? Where will the werewolf go? Where will the not where will go? Where will? Where will bit Grady on the shoulder, and Grady flailed blindly. After struggling pathetically, Grady began to pass out. Grady was finally going to escape Florida in a box, but this happy ending was spoiled by the sudden appearance of Wolf the dog. Wolf willed that Where Will would not do what Where Will willed. Wolf left on Where Will and chased him away. Grady passed out. Will.
Will. Yeah, I had to close my eyes at a certain point to protect my brain from that.
Revising that nearly killed me. And to chart that sentence. It's correct though.
Is it?
Except for the parts where it's obviously not correct.
Oh, well.
There's only a couple. Most of it is correct. Let's chart. Will where hyphen will.
Oh, no.
Will where no. we're not.
No.
I wrote it down. I'll put it in the
We
chat.
already
And you
wasted
can-
so much time on air, bud.
blood will come out of your eyes if I put this in the chat. So I mean, here, take a picture if it does come out, okay? And then post it to the YouTube so everyone can. It'll
Air
be rad.
blood.
Air blood. There it is. God, it's right in front of us.
Right in front of us the whole time. Couldn't see it because we were too busy having aneurysms. Mario is just dead.
Yeah. Sorry. My brain melted my brain melted. Yeah.
Bring.
Hello?
Hey, this Mario?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got another, this dude's not moving. What would you call that again? What's the word? Starts with a D.
Diad.
Diad.
He's a force Diad.
He's Diad,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure. All right.
Yeah.
See you later. Love you.
Yep, bye.
Can you tell him to move? Get out of here.
Just kick him a little bit. Bring, bring. You didn't say love me back.
That would be nice. He's like, all the coroners in the state say love you too
Love
before
you.
they hang out.
Kisses. Sorry, I'm sorry. I just learned that Totally Spies came back, and the first episode has hypnosis plot. Like,
What the fuck?
the fetish content never ended. It's
Oh
like
my God.
they're like, all right, now you guys know what we're doing here, right? Yep, we're making fetish content. Got it. Got it in one. Episode
Brandon.
1.
Brandon and I are over here talking about Goosebumps while Mario is frantically searching fetish porn from like fucking cartoons from years ago.
I just learned it. Twitter thought I should know it.
About
Twitter
this thing I need.
Twitter said it was for me. Twitter said it was for me, and I was like, okay, great.
That's on them. That's on
That's
them.
on them. Hey, I learned.
Nothing to do with it.
Hey, I learned that Rich and Mike from Red Little Media gonna be the villains in Smiling Friends season 2. That's interesting news for me. Also, Totally Spies is doing its shit again. Inflation's here. Feet shit. I don't know. Like,
And it's all for me.
it's all for me, apparently.
Not for you. It's for me.
Twitter told me I like this. All right. Without any emphasis, I'm going to read this sentence.
Okay.
And then you
Go.
need to take a picture of the blood coming out of your
Go.
eyes, okay?
Go.
On it.
Will, where will, the not where will go.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Somehow it just didn't hit as hard. I guess yeah, it actually helps to emphasize things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to get lost in it.
Or we've built up a tolerance like you would to
That-
like
Poison.
poisonous green snake venom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I've got this, guys. I've got this. Okay.
Nailed it.
Where Will bit Grady on the shoulder. We already did this part. Grady passed out. Chapter 29. The next morning, Grady had a slight fever. Grady clarified it was swamp fever. The mom told Grady that the swamp hermit had brought him home. Grady told all present that Will was the werewolf and that Grady, he had been bitten. The dad declared that it was a crazy story, but he was going to check this out right away by going to Will's house.
I'm on the case.
I'm on the case. Pop's on the case. Dad returned a short while later, bewildered, and informed all that no one was at the house. Grady was in the living room, eating a big old bowl of popcorn, and listened to the news that Will's house appeared to have been deserted for months. Grady's sister said, something truly stupid that we won't honor with repetition. Grady asked the wolf, that Wolf the dog be granted leave from his sentence of dog. Sentence of death. Free him from this dog.
Free the man from dog. Free the man from
The
dog.
wolf from dog.
This is so hard to write and so hard to read because it's like Wolf the dog attacked the werewolf. Where was Grady?
Who was
the whole
Wolf?
time?
Where was Grady Will?
I knew that when I made that comment and about the having the dog named Wolf and then
Well, fortunately, the
I knew that was
TV's gonna save us from this. So that's
Yeah,
like,
TV fixed
yes,
it. TV
thank
fixed
you.
it. That would have been fucking awful. Anyway.
yeah.
Also, I was kind of hoping when Emily was like, "Your dog's a killer," and it's like, "Yeah, name the dog Killer." Then.
Oh, that'd be a good one. Be cool. Badass.
It's kind of hard, kind of too hard, honestly.
Goes
But
hard, man. Like, yes.
Emily, you need to try to come up with you could become a slam poet. You just gotta come up with truly hard stuff all the time. It's a hard life.
It's a hard life.
But I
And the
think
stuff's hard
you're
as
cut
well.
out for it. I mean, what else are you gonna do? You live in the swamp.
It's a hard wolf life for.
It's a hard wolf life for Will. It's a hard wolf life for a dog.
Why is this book doing this to us? It's not even that bad. Or
No,
good.
it's honestly not that bad. It's like,
No, it's not that bad. We don't hate this. No, please, listener, don't gather from this. I don't think any of us hates this
No,
book.
No,
and please do not gather that I think that it's the best Goosebumps book. It's not.
either. It's not. I would call this. I'm gonna say my
good.
review in a second. Brandon, wrap it up. We got one. We got. This is the end of the book. We got this.
I have 5 sentences left. We
Okay,
can do this in 15 minutes or less. Grady asked that Wolf the dog be granted leave from his sentence of dog on account of having his life from where Will. The dad reluctantly said he will. I guess my evidence that the dog was a murderer was sort of flimsy. Justice is restored in America forever.
Yep.
A month passed. Wolf the dog will not be the dog where will Wolf the Grady now enjoy enjoy many times of exploring the swamp together. Grady is annoyed by his sister's constant worrying about a werewolf, which we will not be there. Because shock surprise, Grady is now a werewolf, and he loves it. He has the will to wolf, and Wolf the dog is apparently cool with it. Now they're going to hunt in the woods. Everybody lived happily ever after, despite the fact that they still lived in Florida and sniff each other's butts. The end.
Yeah, so I guess we should assume that it's like, is it good that Grady's a werewolf now? He seems happy about it.
See, this is what I mentioned before. The natural conclusion that I thought that this was building toward was, hey, you got scientist parents who don't believe in werewolves. You know what would be cool is if Grady becomes a werewolf and then his parents are studying him and like doing all that shit that they were doing for the deer, but now they're paying attention to their kid. Whoa, crazy.
I think that they're too stupid fundamentally to even be able to recognize it. Like he would show up and he would be like, Dad, I'm a werewolf. And they'll be like, I press X to doubt.
There's got to be a rational explanation for this.
There's got to be an explanation.
Let's see how good this werewolf is at basketball.
The hive mind townsfolk.
There is no rule that says the werewolf cannot play basketball.
Now,
There's no rule that says he can't do it.
So now that we have established the ending of this book, I will now say I think this is maybe an average to a slightly above average book in this series.
I'd say it's slightly above average. I liked most of the kid writing was okay.
Yeah.
I didn't hate Grady.
I didn't hate Grady. Yeah.
That's pretty rare.
Yeah.
He has like real kid vibes. He's in a crappy situation we can identify with. The parents are terrible.
Yeah, I hate them. Are we?
He's not horribly annoying.
Do we do a review after the episode?
Yeah, let's do a review after the episode. I do have a couple things to say, but yeah.
I was just thinking we're getting close to doing our actual reviews. Should we wait until the episode is over?
Yeah.
Besides, there's a lot to talk about.
Oh my God,
with
there is.
The TV show. Let's do it. All right. So first things first, I think I can speak for all of us when, hey, that's an R.L. Stine at the beginning of this episode.
Sure is.
That's an R.L. Stine going, hello, I'm R.L. Stine.
Hello, I'm R.L. Stine. I write the Goosebumps books. You know, werewolf legends haunted people's dreams for hundreds of years.
People have always been scared of werewolves.
I'm hiding my hands for no reason.
Yeah, conspicuously hiding his hands.
People keep accusing me of sucking their dick.
I'm R.L. Stine. I'm just a torso with a busy mouth.
Holy shit! I hope R.L. Stine never listens to this podcast.
Dude, he already stopped listening at the episode where we could not stop talking about
something.
Surely he did.
Could not stop. It flowed out of
air come.
So yeah, R.L. Stine is like,
there's no
world
rule
fuck.
that says the gum can't play basketball.
It's like flubber. It's like flubber. But yeah, so R.L. Stine comes out and he's all like, people throughout history have love being afraid of werewolves.
Oh my God.
Here's a story about one now. I'll see you at the end. I'm gonna go grab a bite.
I'll see you after the show. Right now I'm going for a quick bite.
He's gonna grab a bite. He's gonna grab a bite.
A bite, you get
I'm
it?
gonna go
Dog.
sit on this couch. Let me move my lycanthrope pillow.
Shut up.
God.
Shut up.
Brandon.
It feels so. My reaction to this
Hitting
opening
you with a newspaper.
My reaction to this opening is it feels like R.L. Stine is trying to justify this show to us. Like R.L. Stine's like, this is why I made it, okay? There's a reason for everything.
I've had this arm forever.
This does reinforce one of the thoughts that I had when I finished the book, which I will elucidate later. But to continue, hey, so how do we feel about what Canadians think passes for both a swamp and a Florida house?
Holy shit.
Oh my God.
That's just what Florida looks like.
We open to Grady being shown his new room by his mom, who's trying to talk it up as being like much bigger than his old room. The room is objectively unlivable. There is actual black mold on the walls.
Yeah, there was one point where, what did the mom say? It was like,
it's dry rot.
Yeah, it's just dry rot.
That's just dry rot.
It's black mold.
What the fuck?
toxic. It'll fuck you up, Mom.
I mean, the wallpaper is peeling off the walls. This house is a fucking shithole. Like,
it is actively falling apart, and like the outside of it,
the window panes are falling off. Like,
yeah, the window panes are just straight up like uneven, falling down. There's just the biggest thing for me is just how trees have completely wrapped it up in like roots and vines.
it is a hellhole. Like,
they didn't even think to fucking clean that shit up.
No.
Before the kids came. Man, what the fuck?
Bad parents, the worst parents. But here's the thing, because this goes into what I feel like a weird vibe the show has, because in the very next scene, Emily screams and there's a snake in their medicine cabinet, right?
Yes.
Dad, so she screams, Dad comes into frame like like fucking Michael Myers. Like, he comes in like he's gonna come over here and murder this girl. And like,
this motherfucker is power walking straight up to her.
And his face just like looms into frame. Like, what now, Emily? Like,
yeah, he's like, what is it now?
What is it now?
Emily, what's wrong? That's it. That is it. I don't care what you and Dad say. I am not living here.
What is it now?
I've got science to do.
I'm gonna boil you and filter you through cheesecloth.
Emily finds what I would honestly, if my kid saw that in the medicine cabinet, I would be like, okay, yeah, maybe it's time to rethink what the fuck is going on here. She finds a fucking snake.
Yeah.
It's just sitting in the fucking medicine cabinet.
Yeah.
And like, okay, if your kid is like afraid of that shit, you gotta fucking like treat it seriously. And he's just like, oh, it's just a fucking corn snake. Quit being over dramatic. And then not too long later, she finds a fucking spider in her fucking like face cream.
Yeah, a common theme of Florida is that unpleasant animals do exist in it. Like,
I'd love to know what Canadians think of Australia.
Oh my god.
Do they just think that it's like the land before time down there?
Yeah, dinosaurs exist.
Yeah.
Also, so it's a corn snake. It's a corn snake, Emily, you dumb bitch. It's a corn snake. How dare you be afraid of this serpent you just found?
Yeah, you child. How dare you be afraid of a snake in your house?
Dad, the murderer, has Grady return the snake to the swamp.
Yes.
How does he do this?
By transforming the snake into a
Rubber snake. Yes, and then walking for 5 miles.
Oh my god.
Like, his dad's probably like, where the fuck did Grady go? Like, I just meant take it outside.
Yeah, for real. And also, Grady, I just want to say, like, I love animals, don't get me wrong. You can throw the snake.
You can just toss it. Just
thing.
toss it in the woods. Grady walks the snake. Grady walks the snake carefully by hand to what he imagines to be the snake's perfect home. Here you go, little snake, be free. Oh wait, am I lost?
He also rolls with it, like in his hands.
Yeah,
fucking whole hog.
Yeah,
he's got it in 2 hands. He rolls using the snake for support.
And then he returns the snake to its snake hole, which he found magically, and it becomes a different snake. A third snake appears. Hey, Dad, did you know this snake's fucking magic?
Oh my god, grab the snake. You gotta bring it back for scientific study.
And then Grady encounters the hermit. But don't worry about that, because the show didn't care either.
Nope.
What if
you have to explain this?
Right. So Grady realizes he's lost, and then says, "I'm not lost." So that's how you definitely know that he is indeed lost. Mm-hmm. And he begins running frantically. The hermit's feet are seen. It's not clear if Grady is aware that the hermit is there, but then Grady bumps directly into the hermit, who in the first episode and the bulk of the second episode of this 2-part episode of Goosebumps does not use the English language at all, and he just goes and this moment you might think is important. Goes to commercial. We return to Grady and Emily in the bathroom doing their nightly rituals.
Unhinged.
What the fuck?
We don't even and we barely reference it. We barely reference that Grady has just encountered a strange man in the woods.
What we witnessed was a completely accurate representation of what Goosebumps ending chapters really are like.
Yeah.
Just like
Finally.
cut, no closure, disappear.
I was dizzy watching it. I was like, oh, what? Like,
Rachel and I were watching it, and I was just like, what? I kept turning and being like, what? Hold on. I had to rewind it a bunch of times.
Did we cut something out?
Did we miss something? Did Netflix like cut this weirdly? Like, yeah, it's just absolutely unhinged. And then my favorite part. One of my favorite parts. There are many favorite parts, but Grady goes to add to his empty cardboard box collection.
Yes, yeah. I was watching with Brandon. I was like, "Oh, there's the box pile.
There's a box pile."
It's like there's so many boxes. I mean, I get they just moved, but like Jesus Christ. Also, Grady in that scene is wearing a shirt that just says race on it.
Yes. It's a checkered flag, that yellow and black checkered flag.
In Florida, that's a big concern.
It's Florida's favorite topic.
Yeah, it's a big concern.
It is very. Can we also talk about the deer?
Yep, I was just going to say, these are not swamp deer. These are just deer. The dad basically straight up says this is an experiment to take deer that have, quote, never seen a swamp before, end quote, and see how they will adapt. Well, Dad, I've got a fucking answer for you. They'll adapt very well if by adapt you mean die.
We'll see how they adapt to being in a cage in a swamp.
They've got to get the deer ready. They've got to tag the deer and make sure that transporting them hasn't given them shock. They need them to die with dignity by being eaten by a gator in the fucking swamp. They can't have them just dying willy-nilly. They need to know when, where, and how they died.
Look, as a scientist, it's really important to investigate like where you're going to release these deer. And I think that having a local crazy person living in the swamp who has placed several traps around the perimeter of his property is a really good place to release those deer.
I can tell you right now, they just brought a free shipment of dinner for that guy for the next 6 months. Like that guy's gonna be eating good for like a year.
See how they adapt to my stomach.
If he's got a curing shed or something, he can be eating good for like a year or two, even. Like
he just needs to remember to pick the tracking device out of the meat when he's.
They started seeing a tracking device moving around the swamp. Oh, one of them lived.
Oh no! Several of the tracking devices have combined together. How did this happen?
I'm just writing in my notes. They've adapted very well to dinner.
They've turned into amoebas. And
they've adapted into a delicious meal.
Oh my God.
Today they adapted into burgers.
Yeah, does anyone have any comments on Dad's apparel? Possibly his cowboy hat or his vest?
Well, he's a scientist.
I did, actually. I said, that hat's stupid, but it does fit that man's head.
He did say that. Direct
this
quote.
Is the head of a man who needs a hat.
He looks like a guy who does science in the Everglades. Like, he is the picture of a man who does science in the Everglades.
Definitely the chest hair of a man who does science.
I like how okay, so first of all, Dad says that the hermit is harmless. He just went crazy after his wife and children died.
Yeah, I bet you make lots of new friends.
Oh, yeah, right. Like that psycho I ran into last night.
He's not a psycho. He's a hermit. I asked about him in town this morning. He lost his family a while ago, and ever since then, it's been a little strange, but he just lives off the land, doesn't harm anybody.
Yes.
No worries. Yes. Don't worry about it.
I was aghast.
Like, it's fine.
He's just dealing with unimaginable trauma.
He's fine. Swamp took his wife and kids, but he's fine.
Yeah, he's doing fine.
But the swamp
don't mind.
The swamp, by the way, that we just moved next to, took his wife and kids from him. But it's fine.
Still here.
He's also, Dad cannot fathom why his children would hate living in hell.
Like, it just completely does not understand why his kid is like, this sucks, and looks at him like confused when Grady is like, nah, man, this ain't it.
Not even with confusion, Bob, because in the very next scene, Grady is attempting to watch TV like a normal child might.
Yes.
The parents neglected to fucking provide that basic human need for a child. So instead, Grady is holding a clothes hanger and attempting to make himself into a TV antenna.
Yeah, makeshift bunny ears is what we old folk call them
Yep.
FYI.
Yep. And meanwhile,
rabbit ears.
Well, mom and dad are on their laptop computer, and they're like,
I'm sorry, Mario. Do you mean that they both have their own individual laptops?
did they? They have
Or do you mean that they are both sharing
one,
the same one?
the laptop computer, and it's like, so they're over here doing fucking Excel math, and they're like, Grady, can you stop being a piece of shit child that I can't stand? Can you just be quiet for 1 second?
Grady, that's really annoying.
Grady.
There's nothing to do here.
He's not even making that much noise,
No,
dude. He's not. It like
We're crunching the numbers in these deer, god damn it.
we have
1, 2.
3, 5. No,
We have this many. Holds up his hand.
They're having they're making up the fucking names, the deer, as they put them in the spreadsheet. Oh my god, what's a good name for a deer?
hold on. Let me go on Wikipedia. I'll search up Roman names for stuff.
Darren.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, Emily is reading a book. Great.
Yes. The thing that objectively the TV show tells us that children are supposed to be doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Being quiet, out of sight, out of mind.
Seen but not heard.
You're reading.
The next day, Grady meets Will, who is in this episode is dressed, and this is a quote. I said it to Brandon. I said he looks like Bob Vila's Christmas son.
Yeah. Yes.
He's
Yeah, he's got 3 different costumes on, this boy.
He's got
gross yellow overalls.
Yeah, like khaki overalls.
And
then he looks like a Christmas decoration.
Yeah, like Christmas gingham shirt.
Red and green combo.
Plaid,
like a green t-shirt. No, red t-shirt, green long sleeve shirt underneath.
I'm not even looking at a picture. I remember two parts of that.
It's a green short sleeve shirt.
Oh, okay,
underneath.
okay. And
it's just that the plaid shirt has had its
sleeves cut off.
Arms, the sleeves have
there
been
you
cut
go.
off.
Yeah. Yes. Okay.
Is this what Canada's swamp people are?
Yeah.
like?
I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, that has to be like I can't think of anything. Also, this costume.
It's too specific.
Their costume department. I'm sorry, y'all. I hate to put y'all on blast. The costume department, but their idea of making this like worn in and having this kid like live here is just getting these clothes and taking some like black paint or like I don't even know what it is, but they just took a little bit of it and smeared it on the front of the overalls, and that's it. They are pristine otherwise.
Yes. Yeah.
He just went shopping.
He just went shopping. He tells Grady about the swamp and how it gets in your head and kills you.
Yep.
He also tells him about the fever, which is unrelated to the swamp getting into your brain and killing you, but the fever does come from the swamp and will get in your brain and kill you. So just so you know, your brain will be killed. You will die in 2 different ways from the swamp. But forget about that, because then a fucking pterodactyl comes in like a
Maybe we shouldn't be here.
Yeah, that unhinged scream.
and like Will's like, we gotta hide from the fucking
The library scream that does not make sense at all. Not a howl, not a wolf, just like a dinosaur got torn in half by a robot.
yeah, they fucking have to hide from the slee stacks from Lost. I don't know what the fuck is happening. And that, like, I guess it's the swamp hermit or whatever, but they hide from him like, and I think Peter Jackson stole this scene for Lord of the Rings, because it's like beat for beat hiding from the ring wraiths. I'm just saying it right now.
Yeah, you fucking hack.
You fucking hack Peter Jackson.
Ripping off the Goosebumps.
You motherfucker.
I mean, to this episode's credit, Brandon and I were both remarking, this is a pretty well-directed episode of Goosebumps, actually.
They do an extremely good job with like the lighting.
This is a really good time to mention it too, because I actually commented out loud that the cinematography from I'm on Netflix. It is 12. It looks like 1240 to 1250. That's a really nice shot. of basically the camera's on the outside and there's a small slit of a window and the family is inside and it's focused on Grady, and then it sort of slowly pushes in and Grady like hears like gets suspicious of something outside, walks to it and like looks up in the corner. It's really nicely done.
Yeah.
It really feels cinematic. Like that was a really well done shot.
The production crew is cooking
Yeah.
in these episodes.
Especially in part 2. I think part 2 really goes hard.
And they're doing like a lot of hard stuff too. Like there's like stunts. There's like kids get caught in nets and they slide and they barely manage to not fall into ponds that look pretty good. There's a lot of night shots. It's all very legible.
They have an Evil Dead camera shot going on. Like
Grady's actor is does a really good job.
Yeah,
I agree. Really good job.
I think all the kid actors in this are pretty solid, to be honest.
Yeah. Even like the sister is given like not much to work with, but like it's true. And Grady's really good in this, and Will is as well.
I mean, she's not given much, but she's also the linchpin of like the scariest scene in the episode. So like, you know, like the sister gets the most focus for the werewolf scene in the show. So like, kind of wild. Like, I don't know. It's a good episode.
We got to talk about the structure of that whole scene, but we'll get there. We've got a dinner to cover.
Oh my god! Can we talk? So all right. So anyway, they see the hermit, and Will tells Grady that the hermit is an immortal werewolf that stays ageless as he kills. Just so we all know that. But then we cut to dinner, where the family is eating a delicious dinner of salad, spaghetti, and a fresh, cold pitcher of apparently spaghetti sauce being poured into glasses. Like the reddest spaghetti sauce I've ever seen.
Prego tastes the best.
Just poured all of the excess like blood that they were going to use as temper paint into the pitcher.
I mean,
tomato sauce, that's a spaghetti.
If it's not tomato sauce, I don't know what the fuck it is. Like, it's a big cup of French dressing. It's the reddest thing I've ever seen.
Also, can we talk about how I would never, ever, ever eat food in this fucking house?
No. God, no.
In the current state that it's in? Oh, yeah, please. I would love some black mold with my fucking dinner rolls.
Yeah, once the sister opens up face cream, a sealed jar of face cream, and there is a giant-ass spider in it, I would never...
That's it.
I would never eat anything contained or uncontained.
We're done.
I would never put anything in my body.
Yeah, nothing is safe. Nothing is safe. That was sealed. That was a sealed and...
I won't even use a toilet in this house.
The swamp apparently spontaneously generates creepy crawlies.
Yes. Although, can we talk about the thing that we alluded to earlier? We've got another skateboard, y'all. We've got a really good skateboard going on right here. This is an official Goosebumps Haunted Mask skateboard.
Yes.
This is Grady's skateboard. It is fucking sick. It is so cool. I had a skateboard similar to this that was Simpsons themed. Anyway.
Are we into I also had a Simpsons skateboard. Are we to interpret that this means that
the world of Goosebumps exists in Goosebumps?
Yeah.
It's like recursive. Yes. Every episode.
Yeah, we talked about this. He knows who Carly Beth is.
Absolutely.
You'd have to think, if this is true, that he began to suspect at some point that he may be in a Goosebumps novel during the course of this story.
Oh, that'd be cool.
That would be cool. And I think that actually happens in one of these books. I think there is a story where like...
I know Attack of the Mutant has some kind of
Attack of the Mutants has comic books from to life, but there is a story, I think it's Shocker on Shock Street, where they
number 35,
where the they begin to become aware that someone is writing the story about them. I don't know for sure, I could be totally wrong, but I think that's what, or like something that someone's writing begins to happen. I think this is what the book is about. I could be wrong, don't quote me on it. It's been a while. It's been a while. So at dinner, the parents continue to fucking hate and torture their children, denying Emily the common courtesy of letting her take the car she is legally allowed to drive to go to town. Like,
nope.
You only just got your license. Yeah, Dad. So that means I'm legally allowed to do this. Like,
I get it. As a parent, I guess.
Well, as a parent who's trapped their child in a home with no internet, TV, and also full of poison, like
let me reiterate, as a bad parent.
Okay.
No.
Get back in the spider hole.
I do not have children.
Grady tells the family about the werewolf, and they all mock him.
Yes.
And hate him. And
just absolute, just fucking pure hatred emanates from every member of this family toward this child.
Did you know that the lady that owned this house disappeared? But Will knows what got her. A werewolf.
Well, that's just great. Werewolves.
I don't know about this, Will.
Will knows the swamp, Mom. And you know who he thinks that werewolf is? The swamp hermit.
All right, I've heard just about enough. Now listen, there is no such thing as a werewolf. Those stories are just old folk legends. There's never been a shred of scientific evidence.
Dad is so condescending. I hate him so much.
He's so bad.
So Grady wakes up in the middle of the night and he's sweating and he panics. He thinks he has swamp fever.
Yep.
Nope. It's just hot because it's Florida.
Yep.
But he hears sounds in the kitchen.
Oh my God, what could it be?
What could it be? Well, it's a fucking wild dog that mauls him to death. Like, in this episode, I'm going to have to give a little bit of credit to the world and say that the Wolf attacks him. Like,
Yes.
Wolf for sure is attacking him in that scene. No question. The sound effects are like...
Yes. And it's funny because Emily says later, like,
just getting licked to death?
You're getting licked to death? I cannot stress this enough. That dog jumped on this child.
Yeah.
And then started snarling. Like, I'll play the audio. It is not, I don't hear licking at all.
Also, it's not weird to freak out when a random animal enters your house and pounces on you. It's actually quite normal. Like,
this is one of those things that is a vestige from the book that just does not make sense with how they did. Also, I love there's a quick shot of if you play it back in slow-mo, you can see Grady they put the dog on top of Grady, and he is just like, you know how people pretend to be attacked by puppets, and they're like, and he's doing that with the dog. The dog is just standing over him, just not a care in the world, not a thought in his little head. And Grady is just like, oh. The dog is just like, I don't know what
this is
doing,
they play the sound effect.
This is important to know because in the next scene when everyone shows up to witness that the dog is here, the dog has turned into the most well-trained dog who's ever existed. He's like
such a good boy,
the cutest, nicest dog that's just like calmly sitting there like, oh, I'm having such a great time. Oh,
at one point, like Grady's actor whiffs a pet on him and like pets over his eyes, and the dog does not give a shit.
Nope.
Like,
Dog's like, whatever.
This is one of those trained dogs where you can tell, like,
you can tell
is right out of camera shot.
You can tell.
And also, when they're trying to portray that, I don't know what Wolf is supposed to be like, or this isn't Wolf. We'll get to it, but like the dog has his ears back, and it just is so fucking cute. Oh my God, he's just in a completely passive mode. Couldn't hurt a fly.
They are right. He does look like a shepherd mix, but like, and they also are like, he's huge. Again, no, he's just a normal dog. He's an
average dog.
He's a very dog-sized dog, actually.
Very, very, I think dog. I think this dog. Also, I love when the dog, when the dad comes in behind the dog. He's like, whoa.
he has like actually a pretty great natural reaction where he's like, what's all the huh? What's all the huh? The family agrees to let Grady have the dog in the one act of kindness they'll ever show to their own child. The next day,
which they will quickly take away the moment.
And then Emily's like, well, doesn't anybody care what I think? No, Emily. No. No one cares what you think. If what you think is we shouldn't have a dog, you like... And the next day, we find out that for some reason... the next day, this very wild, stray swamp dog is playing with a soccer ball. And Grady decides to name him Vandal. What? What?
Way better name than Wolf.
It is a better name.
Better than Wolf. Vandal's a fucking sick name.
I'll say this. Yeah. I don't think Wolf's a bad dog name. It is in this book, however, a very bad dog name.
Just too confusing.
Yeah.
Werewolf. I don't know. You had him last.
I had a dog.
It's an MST3K joke.
I had a dog named Beowulf, and we called him Wolf.
Aw, that's cute.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. Mom is setting up a telescope. this is important.
Yes,
this is an important thing, and it's a good thing. This is a good ad here. Mom is putting up a telescope because she wants to watch a lunar eclipse, and this is important because it means that the moon will be obscured later. This is important. The kids give absolutely zero fucks about that, and Mom sighs knowing that she will never be able to reach these kids.
They're completely lost to her. She gives up. This is the scene where she gives up.
Mom gives up in this scene. She just gives up.
She gives up on life.
Yep, this is it. In the swamp.
Someone say swamp?
Perfect timing, Bob. In the swamp, Will informs Grady that Wolfsbane and Silver Bullets are actually things made up by werewolves to gatekeep poor people from killing them.
Damn.
Which sounds suspiciously like something a werewolf would say, but whatever. Oh, Silver Bullets? Nah, man. Werewolves made that shit up. Like, that's not real.
I was talking with the other werewolves about it. I
was talking to my werewolf friends the other day, and they were like, Silver Bullets? Nah.
You know what I heard? I heard that if you put your head inside of a werewolf's open mouth, that will kill the werewolf.
Yeah,
the werewolf will immediately die.
The trick is to like lay perfectly still and don't resist when they come over and try to eat you. That's like, they hate that. they hate that.
They will run away immediately, and they'll leave your entire family alone.
They hate it when you slather your whole body in A1 steak sauce.
Or mustard.
They don't like that. they
really don't like brown mustard.
They would
hate it.
If you like put some barbecue sauce all over yourself for a couple hours and like marinate in it, they would despise that.
If for some reason you find a baker who makes 2 gigantic slices of bread and puts them, and you crawl into it, they won't know you're there. You'll be invisible to them practically.
Wolves and werewolves notoriously hate peanut butter and do not want you to give any of it to them.
And the werewolves are allergic to warm tortillas.
You show a werewolf a big old scoop of ice cream, they'll hate that. They would not want that at all. Puppy cups, hate them. Wouldn't.
Giving a werewolf a big thing, like taking a werewolf to Starbucks and getting one of those cups full of
they would hate that. That'll kill a werewolf for sure.
If you give a mouse a cookie sequel, if you bring a werewolf to Starbucks.
You drive up with the werewolf. You're like, yeah, can I have a puppy cup? I gotta kill this werewolf. And he's just like, the werewolf's eyes are like wide. Like, does he know? Does he know?
Do they know?
The werewolf in the back seat just wilding out, just like fucking going absolutely crazy.
Don't let him. You got 2 werewolves in the back seat, and one's like, holy shit, he's gonna do it. He's gonna give us a puppy cup. Holy shit. It's working.
Why are we having so much fun with this episode?
So anyway, Grady falls into danger bog.
Oh, how does Grady do that?
I don't know.
Can we talk really quickly?
He goes from standing around to just rolling down a hill.
Dear listener, this is something that you just need to see with your own eyes. So I encourage you to either go on Netflix or YouTube and watch this episode for yourself. This part takes place at around the 20-minute mark. It is where the 2 kids are in the swamp. It's Grady and Will, and they are talking. And suddenly, Grady is looking toward basically toward the sky, and completely for no fucking reason whatsoever, he just eats shit.
Beefs it. Yeah.
The bottom right corner of the frame, he just flies down a very
pretty good stunt. A pretty good stunt. Like
it was well done. But at the same time, like, I watched the scene multiple times. It makes me giggle every time. He's just like, huh?
But he does not die in the bog. Although Will does mention that the bog has killed a child in the past. He also magically finds Grady's shoe, which has flown off and landed in the bog mysteriously. And then Grady puts the shoe back on, which is so fucked. Like,
yeah, might want to write off that shoe, bud.
Yeah. Cut to Dead Rabbit.
Dead Rabbit. No!
This is okay. Mom makes fun of Emily for being an idiot, and I gotta give it to Mom in this one. Emily sees a completely immobile rabbit, laying as dead as possibly a dead rabbit could be, and is like, "Oh, hey, Mr. Bunny," and then like reaches down to pet this clearly dead rabbit, and then flips out.
Oh, how cute. A bunny.
They take the rabbit to the lab for a fucking autopsy.
It's not like telegraphed that that's what happens immediately.
Yeah.
But then after a certain, because the scene cuts to the parents just sort of like doing something science-y with like gloves and like they're moving tools around.
Yeah.
And it to me it was like, oh, like Emily just came in when they were working on something else. But no, at a certain point, like a few minutes later, the camera pans out and they're straight up doing an autopsy on this fucking rabbit.
Yeah.
What?
In their lab with bubbling green fluid. I don't know what that's for.
Yeah, green beakers throwing green light all over them.
I am so confused.
The bubbling green test tubes you need for the deer studies. You know those. The green.
Grady really likes seeing the dead rabbit though.
I did like that. I liked seeing Dad do a fucking necropsy on this rabbit. I thought that was great. And they definitively prove there are canine bite marks on this rabbit.
Oh yes.
Speaking of your job, ring.
Yeah, hello.
Yes, this is the health inspector. We've just received word that your office is contaminated with dick farts. I said your stupid office apparently has a dick in it, and that dick is apparently farted, and now your entire office smells like dick farts.
This isn't the health inspector. You would never call me now.
I'm gonna fuck you and kill you.
Wow, the health inspector is very forward.
It's your butthole.
Brain.
Go fuck a
Brain.
I love the idea of Brandon calling someone and being like, "I'm gonna fuck you and kill you."
This is a scene from Wet Hot American Summer, the
First Day
TV
at
show.
Camp. It's from First Day at
fuck,
Camp.
It's the best scene.
That.
It's so good.
It leads to the best scene where
Yeah, it's also really strong itself.
the guy
said
from
he's gonna kill me like a soup.
I'm gonna hoop you up like a soup.
He said, "How about I cook you like a soup? I'll filter you through cheesecloth for stock and add fresh vegetables and grains. And once I'm done, I'm gonna kill you."
It's also important to note this is I forget his name. It's the guy from Law and Order SVU. And then he jauntily hops through the camp, like with an intense look of murder on his face.
Reminds me
to go kill Victor Pulak.
That sequence reminds me of that Germa clip where he's like, if I put you in a meat grinder and all that's left is your eyeball, you're probably dead.
Christopher Maloney.
Find on YouTube the scene where he goes to kill Victor Pulak. It's so fucking funny. That was weird. Let us come by, see if he's around. Anyway, they want to kill the dog now because this random rabbit got fucking killed, and I guess also 6 animals died last night. As if Vandal the dog was on a murder spree through town, like this, like running into everyone's home and killing their animals. Also, to this point, we've not actually seen a town in this book.
No.
And to get to town, Emily must drive in her car. So Vandal the dog fucking marched into town in the course of one night, murdered 6 animals, and then marched back? Like, Dad, you fucking rube.
He's so smart.
He's so smart.
He's a scientist.
So Grady abandons Vandal to be murdered by his parents to go somehow prove the hermit did it. He is joined by Will. They arrive at the cabin, and I really want to point this out. This harmless hermit, do you know where I'm going with this?
Is the werewolf.
No. This harmless hermit has a human skull on his front door. A human skull.
Probably one of his relatives.
Yeah, is it his dead wife? Like, say hello, honey. Welcome to cabin. Hello, visitors. It's me.
Wait, can you pause on that shot? Are there more skulls?
There may be.
Behind?
They may be all of them. Well, hello.
I think I see 3 skulls.
Hello, welcome to our humble home.
Lick my plate.
But they go to the cabin, and Will...
How do you know that's not Curly, by the way?
Well, it could be. Will and Grady look in the window, and Will says, "Do you see anything, werewolf?" To which an old prospector appears. Yeah, I found one thing. They run, and then Grady is caught in a child net
Yes.
net for children. Cliffhanger.
And next episode.
The hermit fucking straight up kidnaps Grady.
Yes.
Yeah. And the entire time he's like, and then he takes like
no English.
He takes a turkey leg out and grossly eats it in front of a child in a net in his home. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you about this sequence of events, but it's fucking weird. And then he does the extremely not werewolf thing of howling at the moon.
Yeah, what?
I don't know. The blood moon is here. The man who discovered the blood moon is here.
Link, the blood moon.
The blood moon is here.
A blood moon has risen, and the spirits of evil are about. Grady escapes while the guy is howling through a hole in his wall where the boys can see it all. He runs home, where he pointedly does not tell his mother that he was just kidnapped and held against his will by a strange man.
Yeah, kind of important.
A little bit. Like when your mom... He just immediately jumps to the least believable thing.
His mom literally says, "Did he hurt you? Did he threaten you?" Yes, and yes, actually. Like,
he caught me in a net
and then dragged me through the swamp
and kept me in the net while he ate a fucking turkey leg and howled at the moon.
Yeah.
With no intention of letting me go.
And he didn't offer me any of the turkey leg
That's fucking
either.
bullshit.
I can only describe it as he ate turkey at me. like I don't know what that means, but he ate turkey at me.
Mom, he ate turkey at me.
That's a threat, I would have to say. But instead, he's like, "No, he didn't do any of that. He is a werewolf, though, by the way." Like,
Yes.
yeah. Then some strange things happen, and suddenly a deer.
Yeah. What? That deer that smashes through the window.
Yeah, a deer.
That is decidedly not one of the deer.
Oh no, that's a male deer. That's a buck for sure.
That's a buck that has antlers.
All the deer they had were female deer for sure. Yeah.
Also, it is comically like not an animal. It is not. It is
comically not a living animal. It is like.
It is someone clearly taking a deer like a facsimile and smashing it against the wall,
extremely
against the window.
So they have to run outside now because a deer attack is happening. I guess deer are attacking them. We should be more concerned about the fact that deer are apparently invading. Unbeknownst to them, their plan to acclimate the deer to Florida was all part of the deer's plan all along. Now the deer have invaded.
My God,
the deer have taken Florida.
They're like breaking through everybody's windows. They're throwing them in ghettos. It started. A night of the long antlers.
It started. Again, we blame a normal dog for dismantling a mesh deer pen, and whatever just happened. But Grady traps his mother inside of the barn.
Yes, and one of the best differences from the book, Grady takes some goddamn action and fucking traps his mom in the barn.
Yeah.
And now we're in full on like horror movie.
Yeah, I can't overstress how much better a climax this show has than the book did. Like,
yes,
like the book really in Brandon's chapters, the werewolf just shows up and then runs away when Wolf appears. Like, it's a bad ending. Yeah. I not to be hypercritical or mean, because I like this book mostly. It's a pretty weak sauce ending.
For the werewolf showing up, you'd think there'd be more going on, but like, I guess there's not really much you can do with it, or in a Goosebumps book, other than have him hunt the kid, which is what should have happened, really.
But it is what happens in the show, because we hear like a Will scream, and Grady runs to Will's house. Meanwhile, Emily comes home from being out on the town and comes to find her house is empty. Suddenly, a fucking werewolf is there. Like, there's a werewolf in their house, and it's pursuing Emily around the house in a pretty cool scene.
I just wish that it wasn't like preceded by a really awkward way of like conveying the information that that Grady is over investigating Will's house while Emily is investigating the emptiness of her house.
Yeah, we're intercutting between the two of them.
It really kind of throws you for a loop. They don't it's like scene cut.
These two scenes don't need to be together. Like
right.
they don't
bundle them together. Yeah,
they don't actually benefit one another. However, I do think Emily being pursued around the house by the werewolf is effectively quite spooky. I think it's scary as shit for a kid.
Yeah, and especially when we get to
the part where the werewolf shows up, like
the fucking werewolf, and then the werewolf comes out, starts chasing her around. And then wait, does it happen now, or is Grady still investigating? The part that I'm specifically talking about is when
the werewolf
chases Emily into the
barn
shed,
and he gets hyperspeed
into the barn. Yeah, and they speed up the footage, and he's like running around.
He's like
onto the barn.
It's fucking like, Sonic the Hedgehog over here.
Yeah, the speeding up is pretty corny.
Yeah, it's a little egregious, but at the same time, like, damn, okay, this is like a nice threat.
I mean, the wolf is clearly trying to fucking kill these two people, and it is a werewolf.
The costume looks good.
It is a great looking werewolf costume.
They put him in places. They do stuff.
Yeah, it's dope. It's a dope scene.
And they have the wonderful horror movie trope of characters like thinking they're scooching along the wall only for a hand to like
burst
break
through the wall
and like
actual jump scare, and not the last one in this episode. So Grady like runs out to the swamp, I guess, to find Will. I don't really unclear.
Sure.
Where he runs once more into the hermit, who has captured the werewolf in one of his child nets, and now he speaks English and reveals that the werewolf murdered his wife and children, and he is going to tear the werewolf's heart out, only to find it wasn't a werewolf. It's that same fucking deer again.
It's that goddamn deer.
And then he's like, in an amazing moment, he sees the deer and he goes, "Run, boy!" And then immediately gets murdered.
I swore one day I would take your heart the way you took mine. Dear. Run, boy! Look out!
Immediately murdered, just instantaneous, just absolute massacre.
Like that guy died. That guy fucking died. Like straight up.
Yep.
And then the eclipse happens, and oh my god, the werewolf. The werewolf.
Werewolf?
It was Will the whole time.
Holy shit.
And like Will is actually like in a mid transformation face makeup, and like he talks to Grady about like not being able to control his animal urges.
Yeah. He's begging with Grady to run.
Because he's like, I'll kill you if you don't. And then
Grady's like,
Grady's like, no, I'm gonna stay
for a really long time.
I'm just gonna sit here and stare at your pretty fucking great face makeup and like prosthetics. Like they did a really good job.
And then
it's a really, really strong presentation.
Yeah,
these two episodes.
and Will's actor, nailed it.
There's gotta be something we can do. No, leave now. Go.
This is a good scene. And then he transforms back in werewolf. Vandal appears and what? Go on.
So if you were to turn into a werewolf after your friend who you've begged to run away, but he hasn't, he's stupidly stayed there. What is the first thing that you would do? Would you grab them and lift them up into the air and shake them violently?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
I think that's my first
thought.
thought.
I think so. I'd be like, well, I guess your food now.
I mean, I think I have earned the right to kill them at that point. Like this.
I gave you the chance.
Yeah, exactly.
But then Vandal appears and knocks our werewolf into the bog, which is actually a better loop around than the book gives us. In the book, the werewolf just runs away and is never seen again. In this one, a person falls into the bog, which we have established has killed before.
There's this actual setup and payoff to the bog.
Yeah, the bog is a setup payoff. And then we cut to later at dinner where Emily believes in werewolves. The parents are still fucking idiots, but at least they're feeding the dog and they like the dog now.
Yes. They're also still pretending that they can make something of this terrible, horrible fucking house.
Yeah.
By pretending to paint. They're painting over the mold.
Yeah, why are we here? Why are we still here? The deer are not doing well.
Maybe his parents are just really, really stupid.
I think that's
true.
Yeah, I think that's definite. Then the parents watch as Grady sleeps and say to each other, is he gonna be okay? But don't worry, because actually it's a werewolf jump scare. And it's a fake out. It's not a real werewolf. It's just a dream. We cut to an amazing scene in the bog where Will's fucking melted skeleton werewolf skull emerges from the bog. Fuck. That kid is dead. Goosebumps fucking killed that kid.
That kid's dead.
Yeah. They went for it.
And the finale?
Grady goes to House of the Moon.
Yep.
I think it's a little bit of a weaker Grady is now a werewolf ending than the book, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, it works, but I just think that the ending of the book is a little bit better because you've got Grady's inner monologue.
Yeah, they should have at least given him like some yellow contacts or something.
I was saying they should have given him like some context at least to show that he's like transforming or something.
Oh, they should have had him turn to the camera and go.
They should have fucking done a Thriller fake out. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Because I get it. I know what it means, but you could easily, if you were a kid, interpret that as just like, oh, I guess he's just howling at the moon for some reason. It doesn't exactly illustrate that he is a werewolf, considering the hermit also heard out the moon. Like
exactly, the hermit did the exact same shit. So
yeah.
But that's not the true end of the episode because we've got a bookend with our old pal R.L. Stein.
Yeah, he's like, "Don't worry, kids. Werewolves won't get you. They're not real." And then he raises his arm, and it's
to wave goodbye, and it's a wolf hand. Who he feels so proud of, or they tell him to like cross his arms in front of him so that the wolf hand is still there.
Oh, they want you to see it. They want you to see that.
They really want you to see that wolf hand. They worked really hard on that wolf hand. And that's it. That's the episode. And so I think that now is probably a good time to talk about our overall thoughts on the book, starting with Brandon's patented review.
Kid zone, big zone.
Okay.
So,
yes.
We'll go with that. It's patent pending. Kid zone. I think that as a kid, this is great. I think there's a lot of suspense. There are many scenes of running around in a swamp, doing things kids would like to do. For example, the aforementioned going to throw rocks and sticks into a pond, which today, even now, makes me think, yeah, I'd like to see how a stick falls into a pond.
Of course.
I want to see what kind of sploosh it makes. Yeah. I'm on like kind of an adventure. There's a crazy old coot. There's a very minor mystery. And the whole time you're waiting for the reveal of the werewolf, which you're pretty sure the entire time you are going to actually see because something's howling at the moon and it's probably going to be there. And I can't wait to see like a cool werewolf transformation sequence, probably. And as an adult, I think it's maybe just a little bit kind of boring because so much of it is like the build-up fake out stuff.
Yeah.
But I do like that it is not a giant fake out at the end. It is a werewolf story. It is a werewolf mystery. It told you what it was and then it gave it to you. I could have done with a bit more of the werewolf being around actually instead of just the last 2 or 3 chapters.
Yeah.
I actually think that kind of hurts it a lot. It should have been at least like 20 pages of that. Like that's what it's all about. But overall, I didn't think it was that bad. And for the episode, I thought the episode was great. I thought it was really well shot. It does its job. They tried way harder than they had to.
Yeah. Damn, we should probably differentiate between the show and the book. But anyway, Mario, I hear you have a patented review that is also trademarked.
That's true. I do. I've got 3 metrics, and sometimes I remember what they are. Number 1 is... I called it Kid Zone, but now maybe I'll call it Hey Teens. Or Hey Kids.
Hey
kids.
Hey fellow kids.
This is called How Do You Fellow Kids? Which is about the relatability of this book to children. I think it's pretty relatable. I think the like moving thing is good. The isolation of the swamp is good. I definitely think the parents like not listening is pretty good. I think that works really well. I think it's a solid 7 or 8, probably, in relatability. I think Grady's a relatable protagonist. And I think that his struggles are real. Especially the dog stuff is definitely relatable too. Like, that's gonna get any kid with a dog, you know what I mean? Like that's gonna tug at that heartstring.
Yeah.
Number 2 would be scariness, right? That's the next factor. I think this book, I think the show is a fucking 10 out of 10. That's a scary episode of Goosebumps. Great episode. Book, maybe more like a 7 or 8, you know what I mean? Like, it's okay.
Yeah.
There is a werewolf, that part's scary, but a lot of it...
Stuff dies.
Well, stuff
really
dies.
actually
There's dead animals. Animals are killed. There's, like, actual stakes. There's a snake bite. The dog might be put down. In that regard, there's a lot of stress in it. It's like a stressful book. So I think a 7 and or 8 is pretty reasonable. And then Steininess, I actually think this is not a super R.L. Steiny book. I think this is a pretty atypical book for R.L. Stein. There are some fake outs, but most of them do have actual consequences. Like, they have real consequence to these things that may not be a werewolf scare, but are like a scare. So I think it's like maybe a 2 or 3, to be honest. But that's a good thing. It's like par. You want to be under par. So we're good on that. That's a positive. So yeah, that's my review. That's good. I think it's a pretty okay Goosebumps book and a great episode of television for kids.
Agreed. All right, and with me, I will go ahead and just I'll go ahead and update my ranking for all my Goosebumps books. First off, before I get the number out of the way, I do want to say that I believe this book is perfectly serves its purpose, which R.L. Stein mentioned at the beginning of, or alluded to at the beginning of the TV episode, which is, I think if you approach this book as children's first werewolf story, it is exactly what it needs to be. It does exactly what it needs to do. It sets up the tropes for all, like the style and the genre. Like I think it works really well as an introduction to kids about what to expect from a werewolf story. And I think that, when you approach it like that, I think that there's a lot to appreciate about it. And also, this is one of the episodes or books that I remember vividly. As I mentioned before, this is definitely one of the ones where I know exactly where I was when I was reading it. I remember exactly what I was reading. It was the stuff with Grady getting sick. And, walking around his house with scary shit happening around, because it was just so relatable. Like, So for me, I think, first thought, best thought, I think I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10, meaning it slots into my ranking. Welcome to Dead House is right above it at 8 out of 10. And Girl Who'd Cry Monster and Stay Out of the Basement are right below it at 7 out of 10, along with Night of the Living Dummy. So I think it's just slightly better than those.
Okay.
I might adjust that later because, I don't know, maybe the more I think about it, the more I kind of like The Girl Who Cried Monster, particularly the ending. But for right now, I'm going with the vibe, especially the vibe that the show gave me, which was just, this is good. Like, this should be the baseline that all Goosebumps books should strive toward. Like, this is perfectly serviceable, not too much bullshit, plenty, fun shit to have happen, and relatable in a lot of ways. Doesn't really waste your time that much.
Yeah,
So yeah, that's how I feel. Do y'all agree?
Yeah.
Do you disagree?
I don't know that it's exactly where I'd place it in my rankings, but I do agree that it's overall pretty good.
Where would you play? What Goosebumps books would rate slightly higher or slightly below?
Thinking about it. Welcome to Dead House, I would put higher.
Welcome to Dead House would be okay.
I think Haunted Mask is higher.
Yeah, I agree. Haunted Mask has that X factor.
Yeah,
we're all agreed there. Just to refresh, Ghost Next Door and Haunted Mask are my 10 out of 10s.
I think I would put Let's Get Invisible and Ghost Next Door higher.
Okay.
I would agree with both of those. I don't remember if I didn't like Girl Who Cried Monster that much, but in retrospect, I feel like I like it more.
Yeah.
I don't. And then
it's the ending. I think
there's some stuff in Night of the Living Dummy that I do like, but I don't know. It's hard.
There's one part of Night of the Living Dummy that I like, and that's
I'll put it this way:
the stadiums, the audience.
To my mind, this right now is middle of the pack.
Yeah.
That's right,
and that's roughly where it is for me as well.
Yeah.
I think that if you maybe Stay Out of the Basement and Girl Who Cried Monster were above it, I think it would be smack dab in the center.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely not Monster Blood.
Yeah, no,
not Monster Blood.
Definitely not Curse of the Mummy's Tomb either.
Wow, I rated Welcome to Camp Nightmare worse than Curse of the Mummy's Tomb. Alrighty, and that's it for us here at You Can't Scare Me. I just wanted to remind everybody that you can, if you wanted to, become a patron of this wonderful podcast and support us at YCSMpod.com or on patreon.com/YouCan'tScareMe. And yeah, any money helps. You know, if you want to do it, cool. If you don't, that's also cool. We post our episodes there. Everybody gets it at the same time. So just, yeah, FYI, any amount is appreciated. And thank you for all of our current patrons. And FYI, YCSM Pod on Twitter, that's us. And YouCan'tScare.me on Blue Sky, which I am particularly proud of because they got that working. It's a good ass URL if you do ask me. If you do ask.me.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. I appreciate it. And yeah, so FYI, also saying it again, moving forward, all visual stuff that we talk about on the podcast, I am going to post on Twitter and Blue Sky. So just FYI. Alrighty, and I don't know. It says here to talk about the next book, but I'm not seeing anything listed for the next book.
That's weird because I just see our podcast.
Yeah, it's like, why did I write the name of our podcast here?
Kind of weird.
That's strange. I don't know. Well, that's weird. I guess we'll leave it at that then.
Yeah, so next episode of You Can't Scare Me will be an episode of You Can't Scare Me.
It's recursive.
It's recursive.
Right, yeah.
You double can't no, you can't scare we.
Oh, you can't scare. Oh, yeah. We're gonna fall into the goatsy hole of our own goatsy hole in the next podcast episode of You Can't Scare Me. Wonderful. I'm excited.
I'm excited too.
I'm excited 3.
Hello, I'm excited. Hello, I'm RL excited.
I'm real excited.
I'm IRL Stein.
IRL Stein. Hello. Can I suck your...
Jesus Christ.
Got a wet mouth.
Well, good night, everybody. And that's the podcast.
Mr. Stein, if you're listening, please don't blame us. We're just trying to have fun here. And kids today are not all right. We're not all right.
We're not okay. Everything is hard.
Why did you stop making Goosebumps books for 9/11? You left us when we needed you.